Well, I love you too. I know you love me, but we can't be together. The enemy finds, well, you can be my sidebark. We're live. Hi, everybody. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? Yes, I've been to the hairdressers before you all started taking the mickey out of me, and they have missed a little strip of hair in the middle for some reason. I don't know why. Let me just turn this phone down, otherwise it's going to go beep, beep, beep all bloody night. Hopefully. Don't even... Oh, that's it, done. I'm not doing a massive poo. I ain't getting on no plane. I can't believe how ginger this laptop's making my beard look. I actually dyed it. It's actually brown. A bit bizarre, isn't it? So, Mr. T, when is Scott getting on the stream? Gotta love the A-team though. I was a bit more Mad Murdoch than B.A. Baracus, but that's that. Right, let me have a quick scroll up the comments, see who's on. Say hello to everybody. Hey, Alfie. Hope you're well, mate. Hi, Thomas. Hi, Mark. Hi, LJ. Dale Strong. He's not that strong. He just looked massive. Hey, Russell. Hey, Callum. Hey, Dave. Just scroll. Hi, Jim. Hey, spiders. Hi, Mr. Krabs. Spiders, Mr. Krabs. I can't remember who you guys are for some strange reason. That's generally my mindset, generally, to be honest. So, who is going the show in Bedford on the 26th of this month? We do have a special guest coming on. They finish work at 9 o'clock, so some point after 9 o'clock. Extra points in the comments if you can guess who it is. If you already know, let other people have a little guess as well. Look more like Dr. Evil from the Action Man toys. That's just pure utter crap. Ellie could possibly be on in the next 10-15 minutes, but Ellie's not a special guest. Ellie is part of the Tuesday Night Live, isn't she? Hi, Moon. Shall I just let you guys know who it is? Because it's going to be like, it's kind of dead obvious. He runs a reptile YouTube channel. He's climbed a couple of mountains over the summer. And he has been on here loads. So Dave says Princess Richard. So it is actually going. Hi, Dakota. It is going to be Princess Richard is going to be appearing on screen a bit later on. But I think he thinks that Scott's Inverts Army has forgot about him losing that bet and him having to dress up like a princess and come on one of the lives as a princess. So when he does come on, if you guys could just remind him of that fact, that would be awesome. My God. Thomas. Nothing has come through the post today, so it'll probably get here tomorrow. That was from last week's live. Thomas is sending us a few cuttings over so we can get those up and running in some more of these enclosures. Yeah, it's Princess Richard himself, says happy. Hi, Leslie. Oh my God, it's September and I'm sweating. I'm absolutely sweating my little man boobs off today. Can't believe how hot it's been. It's been in Coventry, it was 30 degrees heat, which is absolute. Dad's Army's arrived. Does that mean Bailey's here? Yeah. Bailey's bug blog is known as Dad's Army. Every other sentence with Bailey, it's like, I remember this from the 90s or something from the 90s. It said 3 to 5 days, so it won't be for a couple of days. It has some rooted cuttings, so the hard part is done propagation-wise. Thomas knows I'm thick as pig crap when it comes to the cuttings, so he's obviously putting a few more that have a little bit further down the line than just like, here's a cutting. Do you know what I mean? So thank you so much, Thomas. Great weather, says heating the reptiles. Do a spinning pile driver on the can of Coke. Oh, does that mean Bailey's going to say something like, you look like a wrestler from 1992? Hey, Ben. Hey, Andy, never going to give you up. About 40 in the sweep. Are these Mohawk jokes ever going to end? It's just like, I was thinking about dyeing it red. I really was, like the original Mohawk colour. The reason you look like a wrestler from the 1992 game Street Fighter 2. Dad's Army's done it again. He should actually change his name from Bailey's Bullplug to Dad's Army, as Dale said. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Who's that? Who's Jim the Anvil Neidhart, wherever he was? Should we do a search? See who this guy is, and see who they thinking I'm looking liking. He better be good looking, and if he's ginger, I'm gonna go mad. And it's just come up, so it's all gone. So that's Jim. I do not look like that. Don't look like that. I'm not that fat yet. And I'm struggling to see a picture of him with a mohawk. He has no mohawk. You lot are gay. In a bad way. You flip over. And flip back down the comments. Hi, Spider-Mom. Hi, Christine. Legion of Doom. Stop laughing at my mohawk. I can't have long hair no more, and I can't rebel by having long hair because I've receded here, look. Right? So, over the years, I've had all sorts of mad haircuts. When I met Tara, I had a mohawk, and she has said to me for the last 3 years, will you get your mohawk back? And every time I go and get my hair cut, I come home and go, babe, look, I got my hair cut. What do you think? And she always says, looks all right. When I go and have it cut, last time I had it cut and I come back with a mohawk, she couldn't stop smiling. She absolutely loves it. So I can see it, Scott. Thank you, Ben. What a rush. You talking to me? Are you talking? Yes, all right. All you have to do to the plants is put them in soil and water once a week, says Fantasy Geckos. So if you've only just joined Fantasy Geckos, send me up a few bits. Might as well, Andrew, yeah. Or Fantasy Geckos, Thomas is sending me a couple of little plants. Hawk. Spider-Mum's out running errands. She has a few busy days ahead. Hey, Anton. Oh, I have Panda King, says Ben Pet. We've got a few here, just trying to get them to breed at the moment, and a couple ain't quite ready, ain't quite big enough. But on the next, oh no, Scotland, it's not Scotland, it's Italy. If you remember right, when the World Cup was on, who did Scotland go and support? They supported Italy. So Anton's not Scottish, he's an Italian. Yeah, so the invert show, I will be looking for some other species of isopods, that's for sure. I'm going to try sort out a little rack system for them, I think. But who's going? Who is going, more importantly? I know Anton won't be because he lives in Scotland. I know Dale's going, Mark's going, Dave's going. Ben's Pets will be going. He will be going and staying and working for Bugfest, so over with Nick. I was going to go, but now I'm not so sure, says Arachnid Dink. LJ's going. Spiders, I'm looking forward to Bedford first show. Oh, sweet. Yeah, Ben said he's going with Bugfest. Where is it? It's Bedford, Jim's Reptiles. It's Bedford show. If somebody could just get the link for their website, so then Jim can just click straight on it and whack that in the comments, that would be absolutely fantastic. Spiderman wants to know how you're feeling today, Bailey. Go, LJ, says Happy Ant. Anton's going Swindon at the weekend. Spiders will be at Bugfest as well. Oh dear, Bailey. I'm really looking forward to it. I think there's going to be quite a few more people going to this one than the last one. I know Phil's going. So Ben's Pets has just dropped the link down for anybody wishing to find out where the Bedford show is. That is the Facebook page for them, I think. Just got some phasmic eggs from Toby, Euricantha, Calacarata. He sent me some of those as well. Dale's go. I'll be there in spirit. Scott says Moon over my. Tell you what, Moon, it would be lovely to meet you. You're just so supportive. I put a video up. Moon's normally the first one to like and comment, literally within a couple of minutes. Scott can't remember me, Ben, so we're no longer friends. Yes, I do. I'm sure I do. I just want to double check. Of course, I don't want to go, oh, and then you go, no, it's not. It's this person. I am terrible with names. People's faces, yeah, not a problem. Names and stuff like that. I'm even worse with birthdays. Birthdays, my mum has to remind me of when it's my stepdad's birthday. My brother's is dead simple. My brother's birthday is actually the day after mine. But everybody else's birthday, apart from the kids, people have to remind me. Otherwise, I ain't got a fucking clue. Yeah, Moon is pretty much always first. To be fair, with Happy Ant saying that, actually, it's either Moon or Happy Ant are there first, followed by some sort of comment by Bailey or Dale or somebody else. Are there any invert or reptile shows in the far north or Scotland? There's a northern invert show. I don't know if that's happening or not happening this year. Probably best off asking Ben. The Scottish invert show, I don't know if that's actually going ahead this time or if it's not, or what's happening. I'm hoping to go, but it's a weekend before my girlfriend and I move into our new house, so it depends. But Russell, the invert show, exactly, LJ, exactly what you just sent me. Russell, you have to go because the invert show is far more important than moving in with your girlfriend. Moving house with your girlfriend, sorry. Bedford is 3 days after Ben's birthday, going to be skint after Doncaster. That's why I'm not going Doncaster. Northern show isn't until next year. Oh, Austria, Belgium, France, what? Why have you listed all those off, Mr. Krabs? Yeah, looking like Northerns. Cancelled till next year. Yeah, anything. Try and my God, people are messaging me like Reptile Innovations with $10. Can't stay long, working night shift, but I'll watch the whole video later tonight. Thanks for all the videos, Scott. Hold on then, matey. I'll have to play you the thank you. Thank you, though. Reptiles Innovations is also a channel member. Oh, where's that video thing? Where is the video? There we go. Thank you, Reptile Innovations. Really appreciated that one, mate. Hi, hi, Stefan. Have you guys been watching Stefan's Instagram of late? If not, can either yourself, Stefan, or somebody else drop the link to Stefan's Instagram down in the comments? That man can eat chili like the one chip challenge. I think it was a number 10 he was doing. The man sat there, munched it off, looked a bit uncomfortable, and then that was it. It was like absolutely nothing. And then he said, I'm not going to do the 30. I think he should do the 30. He could literally just polish off that number 10. Easy. But the one chip challenge, he absolutely smashed it. If I even smelt that chip for the one chip challenge, I'd be needing a couple of pints of milk because my mouth would be on fire automatically. There you go. Stefan says his Instagram is at stefan.h2007. And he does go live a lot on Instagram as well. If I'm about, and I will actually go in the comments and say hello to people that are on there as well. Got sidetracked a little bit then, just thinking somebody donated money. You know what happens when people donate money? My head just goes plump. Oh, and Happy's actually put the direct link straight to his Instagram on there as well. So make sure you hook Stefan up, especially if you want to see him eat some crazy concoctions of chilies, man. He's got like gummy bear chilies and all sorts of weird stuff going on. So go check his Instagram out for all that. Reptile Innovations. It's the bathroom I worry about, not the heat my mouth would endure. For me, it's the heat. I've never been one for the bathroom part. I'm always just, no matter what I eat, I seem to go completely normal. Russell's just become a new member. Thank you so much. We have a new channel member. Nick took a sting from a paraponaria at one of his shows. It was insane. Russell, mate, that is absolutely awesome. You've also unlocked a few of the emojis, including the Tara's Army emoji, which is the black pinky type one. I'll show you. Boom. So when Tara's around, Russell, we all whack a bit of that on. And that is for her. The channel members are also, the other channel members are saying welcome. That is absolutely awesome. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. I'm going to have a little vape. One of the handlers got had by a Shacklades mid-show as well. Hold on a minute. Are they handling spiders actually at the show, like a Shacklades and stuff like that? Because if they are, I've got no sympathy when they get bit. I've still got a load of feeding to do. I have here. I've kind of done this side, done behind, done that. Have you not seen the Mantis den unboxing video for these guys? Oh, that one has molted. That is cool. Wow. We'll save that for an update video, along with a load of other stuff that I need to update you guys on. Handling spiders at own risk is why we say over 18s only. Yeah, Ben, unfortunately, you know my views on handling spiders. I'm complete and utter. No, it shouldn't be done. Oh, this one ain't molted. Oh, this one's molted too. Both of these have now molted. Yeah, that's just going to jump all over the place. So we'll save those. You're going to have to watch the Mantis Den unboxing video to clock those out. But these are the triangle dead leaves. Oh, they look absolutely awesome. Look so much better than what they did. Okay, coming back later just to do something. Okay, Mr. Krabs. I need a decent acrylic enclosures that are secure. Must be secure. Hit me up, says Anton. Yeah. I think as far as things like encourage handling responsibly, not ban it completely, people always handle whether you like it or not, I'm afraid. Yeah, that is true, Ben. It's going to be one of those subjects where people, it's like Marmite, people love it or hate it. And it seems to be the case with handling. Now, I haven't got an issue with somebody like Nick responsibly picking up a new world and doing what he's got to do with it, putting it back. My problem lies with who's watching that and what they're going to do when they go home. Because if it's first time at a show, they haven't got a spider, they go and buy something like a pokey, because the guys at the stalls don't go, that's actually an old world, you need to keep it this, and you know it can bite you and it will fucking hurt. They just say thank you for your money, off you go. So if that's somebody's first show and they see Nick or somebody handling a spider, my fear is that then they'll just go buy one, take it home, and think they can get it out and do the same, and it could be one of the nasty ones, let's say. Thank you, Mark. Don't forget to like and share the stream. Glad to be a member now, Scott, says Russell. Thank you, Russell. We are getting close to the magic 3K, and I don't normally ask people to... Whoa. Piece of cork bark on the floor. I'm in my shorts, and I've got no socks on, and I just felt it with my toe. I was like, ooh. I'm sitting in a room with like 300 to 400 different types of inverts, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is my toe on? But yeah, going back to it, we're coming up to 3,000. I think we're something like 90 or 95 subscribers away. I don't normally ask people to share the content out too much, but I am now. We want to try and get up to that 3K and do the next giveaway. That would be absolutely awesome. The Akis are doing really, really good. And as it goes, we have we're doing an upgrade to their enclosure. The enclosure is in the front room, where the family are. So it's quite difficult to film them in there. That's why I tend to do the shorts on the Akis, mainly because, like I said, the family's in there, and I like to keep that a bit more private. But we have this enclosure coming. It's a lot taller than the one we've got now. So we're going to put substrate in. We're going to put some branches going across like this so they can climb. Some more rocks are going in and all the rest of it. So that's going to be pretty cool. OBT in a mantis den enclosure. That is completely fine. I don't see why. That is completely secure enough. Peter Griffin. Hi, Peter. Oh, Peter's got the back of his knee pierced. I can't see it getting out of one of a mantis den enclosure. They're just like every other enclosure. A centipede probably would give it a good going over to try and get out of a mantis den one. Ben says the NFM series are they secure? I'd go far enough to say. I'm not quite sure what the NFM ones are, Ben. Peter Griffin appears after Mr. Crab goes. But where's my bodyguard this week? We didn't see the bodyguard last week, did we? They'd be good for smaller centipedes too. all for the Pete's. OBTs are easy. Anton, it's just something that's just, it's frowned upon in the hobby, and the ones that do it diligently and will tell you, I do it. It really is like Marmite handling spiders. It's one of the strangest of things. Well, should I say strange? It's one of the most argued over. That's why I don't like to hover over the subject. I just like to say that I don't do it, purely because they don't get much out. Well, they don't get anything out of it. And if you drop them, you can kill them from as little as falling 1 inch. So, LJ says, I definitely think New World and Old World should be written on the boxes at stores. I think that would help a lot of newcomers, wouldn't it? Especially with when you go to a show, there's always spiders, even if you're an absolutely amazing expert. So there's always spiders at a show what you think, I've never even heard of you before. You look really pretty, but a little label to say New World or Old World would go down pretty well, because when you get them home, you want to rehouse them pretty quickly into something temporary while you do research to find out exactly what they do need. So it would help to know. Russell's looking forward to the mantis breeding project. We've got another one. We've got a mantis breeding project over at Coles. I'm just waiting for him to give me a date when we can go over and do a bit of filming on that one. Bites aren't that bad from most New World. Jumping spiders are the ones you shouldn't handle. They are twats, says Ben. That's because Ben got bit by a jumping spider. My God, I am so hot today. I have a Macrothele taiwanensis, and that would nip if it could. Yeah, the Macrothele, I think they're the ones that have been banned from being sold at the invert shows, because the Gygus is a one I'd love. How the fuck did you get bit by a jumping spider? It's Ben. I can remember Ben got hit by the jumping spider, and then it weren't long after that he got a dry bite from a Scolopendria dihani as well. Very, very lucky to get a dry bite. And for those watching that are wondering what the fuck is a dry bite is when the animal bites you but doesn't release its venom into you. Exactly, Andrew. Beautiful spider. Portheli species in the hobby too, he says. Yeah, I'm just about to say, aren't they? Are they DWA now? Yeah, but it's just literally going to be that injection, an injection injury, or yeah, that's all it's going to be. I've had wet bites from Dahani too. Only bite that sent me to A&E. Got my hand drawing it. Still no idea how. I haven't been bit by anything in the collection as yet, unless you count snakes. I've been bit by the Ridley's Cave Racers had me a few times, and the California King Snake has me every time I open the Viv. UK species of water bug. Yeah, that'd give you a good whack. Yeah, like Ben says, LJ, macrotheli have the potential to kill you. Been tagged by the snakes, but never the spiders. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and the leeches. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but the leeches are voluntary. To be honest, though, the California king snake is kind of, that's almost a voluntary bite, because I open his viv and I know what's going to happen. I have to get him out. The only way you can do it is by getting bit really. But with the good thing with the king snake, the California king snake, is their bite is literally just like sandpaper, so it's not too bad. Yeah, exactly, Ben. I don't know though, Ben. Depends what species he actually got bit by, I suppose. I don't know. What Wiley Coyote, he's not really a drama king, considering some of the things he's been bit by, but he has got to have put that emphasis on even getting bit by something small, and he has really got to sort of play up for the camera, which he does really, really well. Australian funnel webs is what Ben's referring to. Yeah, I don't think we can keep any of those. Somebody just dropped me a message. Oh. Scarlet Pendrive Heroes, the one he got bitten by, was as bad as a bee sting. He reacted before the venom could take hold. But then he moves on to being stung by bullet ants and all sorts. So, but if he reacted like that, and you're saying the venom's not as strong as what it makes out to be, then at least it's scaring people or warning people off going near them to mess around with them anyway. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Nick took a sting from a para bonaria as well. His reaction to the bullet ant was overdone. Mom, yeah, one of my friends, he kept a bullet ant colony, and he got a few whacks off a bullet ant, and that's what he said. He said the same thing. He says it hurts. He said, but not as much as what you think it hurts. He said it's not like they make out on the telly. That's okay, LJ. No worries. Family come first. But we shall chat and we'll have a chat later on anyway. It's fear mongering. Centipedes are already misunderstood without people like him making them look worse. Very true. Would you say the same about the OBTs as well, though, Ben? Would you say that they just get bad press? I think with centipedes, the people that love them. Everybody else seems to hate them. So if there's a way of making them look worse via venom toxicity or venom strength, everybody jumps on that. from Preston, Bullet Ant Boy has less kick than a curry sauce from a mixed hut kebab. Yeah, exactly what Ben says. OBTs are like brachypalmar set up right. Now, what we mean by that... Hi, Alfie. What we mean by that is if you correctly set up an OBT, they will literally relax into their enclosure. You won't get threat poses and stuff like that unless you're dropping food directly at them. They're a lot more calmer. If you put them on this much substrate and put them in something like this, then they're not going to get very happy at all. My adult female is in a big tub like this, like that. But much the substrate, nice piece of court bark, and she is absolutely fine in there. Oh, who's the special guest going to be? Says Northern Exotics. I wonder who that is. Can you hear Noah kicking off in the other room? He's having his bum done, so he's having a major some princess. Yeah, that's also true. They do need a lot more OBTs again. They do need a lot more space. So if you look at an OBT setup, yes, give them the substrate to burrow down into. Yes, give them something arboreal to climb, but then they also need space around that area to go for a wander, because they do. Crested Gecko's messed up his enclosure completely, but they do go for a wander around their enclosure. They are more active at night time than in the day. Set up a boreal, and she's got a 12-inch web tunnel with about 4 inches in exit. What's in the water at St. Helens? Mate, my mate's having a great time. To be fair, I think the last spider to give me a full-on Fet Pros was a Balfouri, and that was on a rehouse. It's the smallest Balfouri I've got, which is about this big, and it's a female. And she just popped her legs up when she was in the catch cup. They rest in the root stuff and systems and stuff. But if you're on about the OBTs, I think Ben's seen them in the wild. And then I was actually on a radio station, chatting to somebody from a radio station, in Africa, and they said that they see OBTs on the ground and climbing up and down trees and living like 2 or 3 meters off the floor as well as. So I think an OBT. I mean, mine done what a lot of pokies do, which is at the bottom of the court bark. So I've got the court bark in there like this. At the bottom of the court bark, I've got substrate up to here. So my OBT's made a burrow at the bottom of the court bark, but then it's also webbed up the whole entire area of this. And 9 times out of 10, I see her here. And if I can't see her, she's always down in that burrow. They remind me a lot of how a true spider would set up. Because a lot of true spiders, when I talk about true spiders, anything that's non-tarantula, a lot of those will literally, if there's a hole or a crack or somewhere damp, they'll go and live there. That's what I see the same with the OBTs. If there's a space, they seem to occupy it. Oh, Ben's seen the Deplore or the DCF. That is, I mean, the Mikumi, Ben. Is that that's the DCF, isn't it? I have the Mikumi, the Marinius, and the Kigmora. I do have Diploria. That was the curtain web spider video that I've not long done. She's, I wouldn't say she's as fast at webbing up as what a Linothelli is. A Linothelli definitely webs up a lot quicker. This one is still currently webbing up the back of where that fish tank rock is. It's looking pretty cool though with that fish tank, that coral rock in there being white and it being in a dark area. It really sticks out. Like, looks cool. Hi Lexi. Yeah, I've got the Mikora Mikumi. I just need the Botswana and the Zimbabwe. My pet hole, C. lividum, always throws a threat pose when it appears. I've got a C. lividum here. That's what I put my C. lividums in. These. I've got 4 of these, and yeah, I only ever see them once in a blue moon. Literally, hardly ever. I have seen all 4 of them, but they're a species that really like to sit nice down low in those burrows. Happy Ant's getting a new logo soon. Ooh, that should be interesting. Is that going to be sorted out before the show, Happy Ant? Have you got stick insects or ever thinking of getting stick insects? Nice hair, Scott. Thank you, Lexi. Alfie, yes. We have the stick insect eggs, and then we have the orange wings, which I can't remember the scientific names for, but we have the Black Beauty stick insect eggs. Idiothelli species in general, yes. Lexi, we've done the Bristol show, and we're going to be going to the Bedford show. When's Bedford? Bedford is on the 26th, I think it is. I've got some sticks arriving tomorrow and a few different species of eggs arriving later in the week. Lexi's going to Kettering on the 12th. You should know all the information. Oh, Dave's off to Kettering. Kettering's actually not too far from us, but we're choosing to go to Bedford instead. Although Bedford's not too far from Kettering either, to be honest. Oh, Alpha E. Dave, are you going to Bedford as well?
Oh, these have got no holes in
It's always Dale's fault. It is always Dale. Dale should hopefully be going to the Bedford show as well as.
I'll take that out of this so I can dry it all.
Everyone says hi, Tara. The only night she chooses to do her snakes and these me is a Tuesday.
No, someone spilt all its water.
What do you want me to do?
Just hold it so I can dry it all off.
Look at that super noodle.
Fed all the snakes last night.
Lexi says hi, Tara. Ken isn't that far. Dave says hi. Happy says everybody says hi. I'm putting a Tara's logo in the comments. This is one of Tara's baby ones. This one she got off Lizzie yesterday. After I said no more, and she got this one. And she also picked up a pink one as well at the same time. So she's currently just cleaning out the enclosure, so I get this one. And I'll pass it back to her once it's done. Oh, they're tiny, they are. Bailey's buffering hers. It is when driving a 1997 Land Rover Defender, 110 at 50 mile an hour happy amp. There we go. How many have you got now?
5.
5? Tara's got 5 coins now, including a pink one.
Let's check on her actually because it's got no air holes in it.
Sorry?
The box, it's got no air holes in it.
Oh.
I've only just realised. Get her out so I can sort that out.
I've got to get another one out. This one will probably bite me.
No, she won't. She's just a wriggly little shit.
This one is actually pink. It's showing up orange on camera for some reason. That one. But again, another Diddy one. Yeah, when's Brighton on? The Brighton show's October. I won't be going to that one just purely. It's a bit too close to Christmas, and I've got to get Donny past Tara yet for November. That one.
You said it's a bit too close
Another-
to Christmas.
another-
Closer.
Another super noodle. Hey, Happy. Tara's like, I'll just clean the snake out. Can you hold this one for me? These are literally on like, what, one day old chicks?
Pinkies.
And pinkies, sorry, 1 day old pinkies. And it's mad how these open their mouths so wide to take it in. No, Happy, I do not want a slightly open bag of crickets at all. Yeah, Dave, I might have had something to do with that. So Dave and Anton are meeting up for an exchange of money in the snake. Hi, Phil. But Happy, I wouldn't even worry about sending me crickets because I can send you a lot of red runners. So I can get my own back. Phil, are you still in the pub? Phil was going to the pub after work. He works in one of the zoos. Incredible inverts and other animals, that is. This guy keeps curling up on the back of my hand and then just shooting across. Hey, thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. He says, hi, mate. Like watching your videos. Phil has just got back in from the pub. At Bedford, if you want to say hello, we will be going to and from Phil's parents' stand. Really easy to find Phil's parents' stand. It's the one that's literally got reptile, cuddly toys, books, cups, and all sorts. So their stand will be the best place you can find us to come and say hello to. This one, look. Oomph. Just cracking open a bottle of Hobgoblin. Ruby, says Dave. These baby snakes, it's just, I find it crazy how these guys move anyway without having legs. Phil stand is the one that will have Mark sat by it. But it is a perfect little spot if you want to come and say hello. Because at the shows, I'm normally all over the shop. At Phil's stand, I usually kind of tend to stand for 10-15 minutes.
Why did I just put that knife?
Do you want this one back yet?
No. I just put a knife down now I can't find it.
Oh.
My life, man.
Hey, Toby's Exotics. Hey, Robert's Talking Teas. I want a legless lizard. We get loads of slow worms near us, and I used to always be obsessed with them.
Where's...
There's a legless lizard. It's called a snake.
Where's... What
Or I think the ones that you're thinking of, are they just the slow worms? So you wanted a water dish?
Yeah.
Water dish.
Look, these are the flowers.
Oh.
Look how many seeds there are.
Dum, dum, dum. Look, snake's got pink eye. Slow worms often get confused for snakes. They do indeed. Wow. Yeah, slow worms are legless lizards, but you can't legally own them. There are other species for the pet trade you can legally own. It's bit of a strange one because they're taking the reptiles off the endangered list, aren't they? So they can carry on building HS2. So I'm wondering if you can actually own one now and keep it. That'd be interesting to see. Not that I would or advise that, but nothing much, Robbie. We are currently just waiting for the special guest, which everybody knows who it is, to arrive on stream. They've got to finish work and then set their camera up, and that's it. Phil says his parents have glass lizards. Peter Griffin, my mother. Oh, yeah. What was that? I didn't know that, mate. See people start selling captive bred ones then. I don't know, Alfie. It's the short and curly on that one. Yeah, we'll have to see about that, Happy. I'm all right, Toby. Hope you're doing all right. What time is your live tomorrow, Toby? Hey, Reptidil. Oh, there you go. Phil says some people have a license to keep and breed slow worms currently. So you still actually do need a license. Hey, Lizzie. Or Lizzie comes on now. We've had the snakes out. Lizzie, we've literally just been getting the snakes out because Tara's been sorting out their enclosures and she's been passing me one at a time. Toby's Exotics. Toby. What time is your live tomorrow? 7:30. So if you guys are into the inverts and you're into the reptiles, hook up Toby's Exotics with a sub because tomorrow at 7:30 he has Wiccan's World of Reptiles on. And if you're into your reptiles and you know who Wiccan's World of Reptiles is. Fill your mind of information, says Happy Ant. Callum, you've got no idea how much information that guy does actually have and retain.
He keeps it in his beard.
Yeah, he keeps the information locked away in his beard. So that's what's happening. Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles, that's the one. That's what's happening over on Toby's Exotics channel tomorrow at 7:30. You should know who this guy is. It's absolutely awesome. And of course, young Toby has been on the channel a fair few times. I will be in those comments, that's for sure. No Tara. I've just subbed to oh god, I've just missed a load of comments, I think. Let's just scroll back up. Dave still hasn't had a chance to properly thank you for those two slings. They're both doing great. So Dave, Toby says massive thanks for the slings. Alfie's subbed up to Toby and Happy Ant has dropped into the conversation. Toby's link. Happy Ant says no Tara. Oh, cheers, Mark. The exotic Gandalf is Phil. I like it. That is awesome. Exotic Gandalf. I think we should start calling it. Happy Ant has just dropped in that channel up again. Thomas is back. Hi, Thomas. Mark is here still. Mark the Spider Guy. Mark has a GoFundMe currently running. Mark, if you can drop that in the comments as well. Unfortunately, Mark can't get around as good as the rest of us can, and he needs an electric wheelchair, which at the moment people aren't willing to supply him with, so he's going to have to buy his own. So he set up a GoFundMe. So if you could donate to that, that would be absolutely awesome. I know some of you guys already have. I know Mark would be absolutely massively thankful for that. So if you could just drop that into the comments as well. So if anybody wants to donate to Mark's electric wheelchair GoFundMe, that would be absolutely awesome. Mark is an absolute legend. I absolutely love him. And I also know him really personally, and I understand why he's had to do the GoFundMe as well. That's why I'm supporting it so much. So Mark, please drop that down in the comments. No. Oh no. Oh no. Shh. No swearing. No bad language. Tara's here. Better behave myself. Don't be putting Tara. Oh God. Channel members are going mad with Tara's Army logo now. Yeah, haha. It's just like a sea of pink logos. You need at least put the kettle on while you're over there. Please.
Oh, I've got a full cup.
I haven't. Bailey, just buy a Citroen 2CV. I think if we were going to get Mark a Citroen 2CV, it cost a lot more than this electric wheelchair. The one he's seen is second hand, and it's 300 quid. And I think when I looked last, Mark needed another 200, and he would have got it. Leah's doing it now as well. Hi, Leah. Thanks for coming on and making the screen go pink with Tara Army logos. Don't sit over there. She's sitting over there and she's just giving me this and smiling. She gets more support off you lot than me. And she's a pain. She is an absolute pain in the bum.
Speak for yourself.
What? I'm not a pain in the bum.
No. You're a pain in the head.
Leah, what have you been up to? Apart from lurking around in the background and then suddenly firing in the logos. There you go, Tara's Army. So Tara says, love you all. She doesn't, she's just ass licking everybody. So the special guest will be coming on anytime now, really. He finishes work at 9 o'clock, so we've got to wait for him to speed home, whack out the camera, job done. Leah is packing, so she is packing for a manusive poo. All right, stop licking Tara's ass. You've all said hi, Tara. That's enough. And literally turned my screen into a sea of her logos. Babe, can you make a cup of tea, please? Oh.
It's a shame you've got the pictures in there.
My God, here's another Tara's Army supporter.
What are you doing? Okay. Hi, Happy. Hi, everybody.
Oh, what's this? What's... Oh, okay. It won't let Mark put the GoFundMe link into the comments.
Oh, hang on, let me see if I can find it.
Boom. I've just whacked in the GoFundMe to Mark's GoFundMe, which is currently raised £135 of 300. So he needs another 165 to go. And like I said, I do know Mark personally, and I understand fully why he's doing a GoFundMe as well. Now Ellie's getting all the attention. If it's not you, it's me. Yeah.
Hi, Phil.
We are currently awaiting the princess as well, Ellie, tonight.
Oh, how lovely. What did you do to your hair anyway?
I don't think you do pay taxes on GoFundMe money. No, you don't, do you?
No.
Don't even worry about taxes. Just donate to it and let's get it up to 300 quid so he can get it. And then when he's at the show, it'll make life so much easier for the guy.
It is a fee, but it's optional. You can make it as big or as little as you like.
Yeah.
You can turn it off completely if you want.
Yeah, if you don't want to donate, just share the link out. That'd be awesome as well. I haven't donated yet. I'm going to have to. Oh, Tara's doing it now.
I did. It wasn't a miraculous amount, but it was every little helps, right?
Yeah, even a quid helps. Doesn't matter. How much you... Yeah. Bailey's Bug says, "Hi Ellie, didn't see you pop in."
Yeah, I popped in.
Bad boy Scott. Every little helps.
Like that.
Every little helps.
The haircut, Ellie, is because I had this haircut when me and Tara got together. And then I grew it out. And every time I've gone down hairdressers and had a normal haircut, I've come back and said, "Babe, what do you think?" And for nearly 3 years, she's gone, "Yeah, it looks all right." And for nearly 3 years, she's always wanted me to have the mohawk back. So yesterday, I just went down the hairdressers and just said, "Yeah, stick that mohawk that I used to have back again." And when I come back, she was like, "I really like that." So this is more for Tara, but I do feel a bit more Scott's inverty like this. Do you know what I mean? A bit more myself. I don't know, Toby. We don't know when Princess Richard is coming on. He finishes driving buses and doing what he does, and then he's gonna pop in and say hello.
Look what I managed to find, Scott. Love heart one.
Aww.
They're the silicone scrubbies, for dishes.
Okay.
I've been buying them and sticking them in with my snake.
Thank you, Leslie. I just use the metal ones.
What, for your snake?
I thought you said for the dishes.
They're meant to be for dishes, but I buy them, I stick them in with the snakes, and because they're silicone, they sort of stick when they slide, so it helps take their shed off.
Ah.
Really, really soft. Like, it can't hurt them, and you can just wash them easy.
Ah, that's a wicked idea. Toby says, "You guys have no idea how pissed I am about not being able to go to the Eastern Invert show." No, Toby, but you are big. You're going to be coming to the BTS, aren't you? Next year, which is pretty cool. And you have Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles on tomorrow night on your live stream, which is also pretty cool.
Toby, I'm not going either, if that helps.
We can't even convince Ellie to go. She's just not going.
Yeah, I'm not going.
So please don't try and convince Ellie in the comments to go to Bedford. And I'm not, being...
He's not actually being a twat. You will get told off. I can't afford it. The kids are in school and my car's fucked, so I can't go. I'm not going. I've got other places to do things. And it's stressful.
Her OnlyFans page didn't take off as much as she'd hoped.
I haven't got OnlyFans. But if you carry on, I'll do a GoFundMe to help kill Scott and hide the body. For nothing but that, they won't find the culprit.
I think a few people have already set one of them up, but haven't been able to do it yet.
That's not funny, though. You need to be getting ready to go bed.
I have to write everything down for school.
For school?
Yeah, I need to pen and paper.
Gone up to 140 now.
I haven't even used them pens yet. They're brand new and you're already attacking them.
Yeah, they're fine. So I'm 37 months couch. I have the full time.
How was that? Oh, that should be more than that, shouldn't it? 30, 45.
Should be 155.
Yeah, we think even although his GoFundMe, his GoFundMe at the moment is showing 140, but it's actually 155. So he only needs 95 quid. So that would be pretty awesome. Can you imagine if he got that tonight? Man, that'd hit in the feels a little bit, wouldn't it?
Oh, nice news. Have a good shift. How's your wife before you disappear? I know you're listening. I hope she's okay. I hope she's getting better.
Moon always listens and he gets to work and then he drops a little message in. Oh, check out that bad boy.
Why is it so red?
Because I had a protective sticker over it.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's not supposed to be red now.
Let me finish. And it's a sticker, right? And because it was coming away, I went out of the bath, took it off, and the glue leaves a red mark all the way around your arm. It did on Tara's, and then it took a day for that to get away.
It doesn't. The sucky doesn't stick to my head.
Lick it.
I did lick it.
Thank you, Toby. There's another one coming. I'm having the mental health apostrophe one on the side of my neck. And I'm having a load of work done up here as well.
Or a shit sucker.
Lick it and then stick it on.
I did lick it. Look, want to see?
Hold on.
Doesn't work.
Hold on. You didn't lick it like that, though. What I should have done, I should have set that up so I could press play on the actual StreamYard and it come up.
You should have seen the shit I was doing at Leah's house. That shit was funny. How is the Robustum doing anyway?
Wicked. Absolutely wicked.
Kind of miss her little sassy ass.
Oh. You should see the snake that you're getting.
Is it a twat? Yeah.
No, completely cool.
Oh, okay then. I shit myself.
And luckily, the corn snake that I got asked to rehome yesterday, Peter's having that one.
Oh, by the way, that snake's name is called Modesty. Okay.
Called what?
Modesty.
Modesty.
Yeah.
You haven't got any modesty.
No, but the snake will have.
If anybody knows Princess Rich, just start inboxing him. Where the fuck are you?
Do you know why I named him Modesty?
Why?
Because I got Credence, I got Obscurus, now I got Modesty. Modesty is the little girl, the sister.
It's 160 is what so far.
Is it saying 160?
No,
Oh, what's it saying?
140 still.
Mark's GoFundMe's showing 140, but if you add it up, it makes 160.
Yeah, but I think it depends on what donations people have put in to actually GoFundMe the company. Because it's optional. You can turn it up so you can pay more to the company, or you can turn it down and pay nothing to the company and put it all in max.
Did you pay nothing to the company? Yeah.
I turned it down.
Tara turned it down. But you can see it anyway. Yeah. Cheers, people.
It says there's been 6 donors, but there's been 8.
Yeah. There's a yeah, it's just basically just an autism awareness tower for anybody and everybody that's affected by mental health, not just autism.
The one I had off Leah, even though it's tiny, it did heal really quickly, within like a day.
Mine healed.
Tara's is healed. What did you have?
I had my kids redone.
Oh, I thought you had 50p insert here above your bumhole.
No, that's exit only, unfortunately.
It's gone up now.
Oh yeah, so it's showing 160 now. So you need what 140?
Yeah.
You need 140.
I think I need about that much to fix my car.
It's like I said though. I mean, we can't go into details with Mark's circumstances, can we? But the man needs an electric wheelchair, and for circumstances out of his control, he can't get one unless this GoFundMe thing works.
The thing is, it's not even like he's asking for people to help buy a brand new one. Like,
No, second hand,
it's
yeah.
almost new, but it's still second hand, and it's going at a good price. So.
Right. Northern Exotics is sitting in the background. I need the Scots Inverts Army to give him a load of crap about coming on not dressed as a princess. Oh, Richard.
Oh no, I gotta put up with this chitty chat the whole time now. That doesn't breathe.
In the comments, come on, start giving him a load of crap to go and get changed into Princess Richard. Hey, Spider Mum, Christine, don't even worry about it.
Hi, Christine.
Half area effort.
Yay!
Oh God, he's drinking again. Here we go. Here we go. Pissed up Northern Exotics does it again.
No words are needed.
What's been going on, Richard?
With what?
You've gone from being a fat bloke to being a geezer that can climb a mountain in like 10 minutes.
What can I say? It's the princess title.
Why
Wow,
have you still got the
really
time?
well.
I did tell you I'd come back on as a princess. There you go.
You did.
Where's his wand?
Yeah, where's the wand?
The wand is in an enclosure. Not yet revealed.
Off. Now we just seen boobs galore. Burley's gonna get you. Already got him.
In fairness, though,
He's lost a lot of weight. Done well. Done really well.
my milkshake does bring all the boys to the yard.
That's all right. You can keep them. I don't need any.
What,
Take
boys
it
or
away.
milkshake?
Both.
Toby
What about
says, hello,
Toby Spear?
princess. How are you?
See what? I can't see any comments on this. Anyway, what are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Who are we taking the mick out? What are we doing?
Anybody and everybody. I'm just going down the comments. So
I've got a favour to ask, Scott.
Happy Ant says drunk Princess Richard. Bailey's bug blog says should be drinking Lambrini. Leslie Level says hi Princess. Toby's Exotic says hello Princess, how are ya? Dave said you've been waving that wand again, Richard. And Happy Ant says great work with all that exercise, Richard. You've done amazing. It is mental, and to see those times coming down when you're going up Snowdon as well.
You think 3 months, 3 stone?
That's good.
No, he just needs a
Did you hear that?
I had my haircut today.
He's just had it done.
No,
Indeed.
I'm not getting no dreadlocks or any like princess. Hey, I like yours. Looks like you. Oh no, Scott looks like a gay unicorn.
Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
Hashtag gay unicorn in the comments.
Stop laughing.
I'm not laughing.
She
Can
is.
anybody else hear me laughing?
She's giggling.
Oh,
She's
I
like,
actually agree with Richard.
Tara, where is Tara? I can't see her.
Ellie, you're supposed to be on my side
Why?
because you know you are. What do you mean why?
Why would I be on your side with all the shit you give Tara?
There you go.
I'm fucked, and I.
That's the wrong thing you want to say when you look like a gay unicorn.
I'll embrace it.
Oh,
Right, at least we got the perfect head on the screen. We got Princess Richard, gay unicorn.
can we change his name? Look at it. Don't put your head down because we can all see your horn.
That's only on my OnlyFans.
Plug, hint. Scott, I'm going to have to Google that later. I bet that video would go viral. Putting my animals on OnlyFans. I don't think you'll be able to monetize it, but it'll go viral to get you some more subscribers.
You would be able.
Have you seen my
no,
leopard gecko TikTok video?
Yeah.
Reacting to a shocking leopard gecko, something like that. Shocking leopard gecko TikToks or something.
They
So
were
far,
shocking as well, some of them.
yeah, I know, but I clickbaited it with the thumbnail, a big bright tail hanging off a leopard gecko. But that's so far to this date drawing 1,500 views every 48 hours.
Fucking hell.
I have a feeling if it keeps up like that, it's going to be my first video to get to 100,000 views. And I've got one video currently sat at 96,000 views.
Wow.
Leopard gecko, 3 days later, done virtually a similar one. But hers was shocking reptile TikToks. It's only done 10,000 views.
Only.
Wow, yeah. You compared to her nearly 300,000 subscriber follower base, I kind of like those odds. Mind you, what's your videos up now? I mean, you've got some that are up there. Have you checked lately?
Yeah.
Go on then.
56,000.
Nice.
That was for the California king snake. Well, marked it up. Not a king cobra. Because everyone's searching for king cobra. So I was like, well, it's not a king cobra, but it is a king snake.
It's Toby in the comments. How much is his big? He had one big short, didn't he? That big 30-odd million view. What are those views on at the minute?
I think it was something like 3.5 million, wasn't it? Toby?
I think I checked, and it was something like 31 million or something stupid like that. Well, not stupid, obviously, but is he in the comments? He'd be able to put us on that one.
Yeah, he's just commented actually. Ask Richard if he'll do a live with me.
Tell him to DM me, and we'll chat. But I don't know when I'll be able to reply. I should be able to reply after this stream because I'm only on till about 10 o'clock. Got a big day tomorrow.
Big day.
So this is the only alcohol you're allowed to let me drink.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Got an interview.
Ooh. How
Yeah.
can we get Richard to drink more?
No,
64
I'm
million views?
I'm getting an out. How many views?
64 million.
Yeah, I knew it was up there. I've been watching it for over some time, and it sort of boosts up a lot, and then it slows down for a bit, and then it boosts up again. So it's just constantly getting pushed. I noticed as well every time that someone like Leopard Gecko or a big YouTuber posts a video about leopard geckos, his short always comes number one underneath that video. So he's
Wow.
done a really clever one there.
Wow.
So what's his subscriber count on now? It's got to be up quite big now.
Is it 79,000?
So he's going to have a silver play button soon. It'll be interesting to see if they send him a silver play button compared to it being a short. I know that now they're monetizing shorts in a way, aren't they? They're doing the fund for the short fund. It'll be interesting to see if that happens. I hope it does for him. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because you can monetize shorts, can't you?
Yeah, it's not massively lucrative like a long form content, though, is it?
No.
It's 100 quid per million views or something.
Something like that.
It'll be interesting. So, how does it work with your shorts? Because you're getting monetized on your long form content, but then you're dropping your shorts on your long form content channel. It'll be interesting because when did you have that 59,000 view short?
Last month.
Oh,
That made me pence, literally pence. No,
Yeah.
it didn't because it wasn't monetized because he used their music.
I've noticed that the minute I'm starting to get a few some claims, copyright claims against some music that I put to videos years ago. It's a pain.
I had it on a live, but that allowed me to. It asked me the question if I wanted to mute that section of the live,
Yeah.
or if I wanted YouTube to try and mute out that music section. So YouTube were able to mute it out somehow. It was only 15 seconds of an actual song. But
Yeah.
I thought you were legally allowed to use something like 30 seconds. But is that? I don't know.
It depends. I mean, if you're copyrighting against like a film or something, if you've got like video evidence of like a film on your channel, that goes off. That claims on it, and it's a pain. I'm starting to look into the fact of shall I go for like the Epidemic Sounds and stuff like that, and just get the background music from there, because then I don't have to worry.
Well, yeah, unless you know somebody. I have to get Ellie singing.
Go on, Ellie. Sing.
Yeah.
Go on, then. Let's get to sing. Sing. I'm a skater boy. If you sing, then Scott's got to shave his tash.
I got no more fucks to give. My fucks have all run dry.
Off with the tash.
I can't sing for shit.
That is an awesome tune.
I always run out of the words as well out of my head. They go.
Phil says he can do the drums. We just need a guitarist and a bass player,
We are not starting a band.
and we'll start the band.
Yep, there we go.
Well, Richard,
That beer's going down too well.
Richard,
What?
come on, big news. Do you know yet?
Or-
The
Hold on.
26th. The 26th.
Oh, I don't know yet, because of this interview tomorrow. Now, if I do get this job, then there's a very good possibility, because I'll be in the classroom doing training and stuff like that. But that's only Monday to Friday.
Oh, can you say what job it is or any? Or
Driving
basic-
coaches. I'm going back on coaches. Nothing
Oh,
special. It's just better money and better hours than what I'm on now.
same company or?
No. National distress.
Oh, Russell can do guitar.
Can he do it good though? Can he match the same pitch as Ellie singing? You know, we've got to get dressed up as like Harley Quinn.
That would do. That will make some of the subscribers very happy if she dressed up like.
New subscribers.
I haven't got a Harley Quinn costume anymore.
It's okay. Scott will make one.
Yeah.
No. That would look like zombie Harley Quinn.
What?
And Mummy has some eggs on it.
What for?
Because Hermione's dead and she's being eaten.
Hermione's dead.
What?
Hermione's dead and she's being eaten.
By what?
By Harry.
What?
Well, the
Hold
Acumontus
on,
is
hold
being
on.
eaten.
Oh, he muted that one. I was sat there thinking Harry Potter's gone dead. I'm like proper trying to read his lips and everything.
It's to do with the Acumonitors.
Yeah. He's just handed them a coffin. I can't see any comments. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm pressing buttons and I ain't got a clue.
So did we hear that correctly, Scott? One of the Acumonitors ate the other one.
No, it's just Layla just chats crap, and then it takes you half an hour to get the actual story out of her.
Did I hear that right? Has Harry Potter killed Hermione?
Yep.
I knew she likes him rough, but that's a different story altogether. Oh, he's looking around. He's like, is it escape?
Oh, yeah, Scott's trying to cover it up. That's why Scott's muted.
Oh, we've got muted us again.
No, Scott
Sorry.
muted himself.
Scott's a unicorn. A homosexual unicorn. Scott's a unicorn.
No, they're feeding. They want to feed. So Layla's like, I'm like, oh, do me head in.
So do you keep your Ackies together then?
Yeah. That was the advice.
Do what?
That was the advice. If it's male and male, you can't. If it's male and female, you can.
Oh, I beg you the first babies.
It was invert band sound 6, says Russell. They're off Ryan Steph.
Oh.
Got the red and the yellow gene in them. So you get the red with the yellow stripes or something. I don't know.
Ackies confuse me. They're cool and everything, but they confuse me. Andrew's not having a good stretch. I don't know if you can see him. No, you can't see him. You can. He is there. I'm trying to do this on a reverse camera and it's not going very. He's there. So there you go. Proof that he's actually dead active. There. Still shit. Pulled up more of his plants though.
Ooh.
It's too hot in this reptile room. I've got all the inverts. They're all out trying to find cooler areas. I've got the boa constrictor coiled up in a cool side. Everything. Even Diego, the Jackman's awake. He's probably awake thinking, you're not normally in at this time of day. Oh, you should see what I've got coming for, or what I've already got for my Royal Python.
Got it in.
Got a bit over the top.
Uh-oh.
5 foot enclosure.
5 foot?
Yeah. I sort of got offered it. He sort of went, do you want it? Yeah, okay, then. What can I do with that?
Come on,
Yeah.
on your bed.
I stood up in the living room because it's too heavy for me to lift into here.
How tall is it?
2.5 foot.
Oh, time in space too.
It's like arboreal as well as subterranean. Because that's the thing. I've got a load of stuff by ProRep. They've sent me a shit ton of stuff and sponsored that build. So I've got to get it done, haven't I? Let's see if Amber will come out. That's not. No, actually. That's not why.
He's
Leave
feeding
your
me.
Willie alone. It's filthy. You shouldn't be
I
doing
was
that.
just saying that. Just about to say that, Ellie.
That's what happens when you get a big one.
You ain't even got a big one.
Itchy one.
You ain't seen where I've been.
Those girls up those mountains.
Yeah, who said there were girls? I do go to Snowdonia a lot.
Last week.
It's getting lonely, Scott.
I did Snowdonia when I was like, what, 14?
I've done it like 4 times in the last 2 months. It's killing me.
We hiked it and then we went kayaking.
Oh, I did that last week. I done a sunrise up there. Climbed up in the night time. It's pitch black, and then I got up there too early, so I sat up the top for like 2 hours, freezing me tits off because, as you say, I've got tits. And then I sat there and watched the sunrise.
I did my Duke of Edinburgh. No, I didn't. I went up there with Venture Scouts. That was it.
God, you are old.
Did you
A long
do
time ago.
I did Duke of Edinburgh too.
Camped at the bottom.
Hello, Leah. Sorry, I missed you.
Last week. Not
Went
last
up-
week. Week before.
Is it the path that goes past all the tin mines?
There's a few of them, mate.
Did that? You've done it. I'm sure you've done it.
Which one? I've done every one except for 2. I might do those 2 on the weekend, actually. Don't know. I don't know. I've got a few more contacts for us. Do you know that UV tarantula thing we're looking at doing?
Yeah.
Got a few more contacts. Dr. Frances Baines, she's the one that basically done all the scientific research for UV lighting in reptiles.
Oh,
And I all of it. I mean, proper full-on PhD doctor.
Ooh.
She's a doctor in... basically, she understands the wavelengths and what's involved in the wavelengths down to the microbiotic atoms that are in the wavelengths. I've got her contact details now. Spoke to her a few times. She's going to help us out. And John Courtney Smith, head scientist for Arcadia. He's got PhDs in like optics, so he understands how the wavelengths leave the sun to get down to the earth and all that sort of stuff. I've got his contacts. He's going to help us out.
So that's
Cheshire
really-
Reptile Rescue. He gave us. See if I can show you. That one.
oh yeah.
90 wide, 45 tall, 45 deep Exoterra. He's gave us that to play with. I don't know if that's going to be too big for a tarantula. It's a 3-foot enclosure. But yeah, he gave us that. Well, he gave us that with the canopy. Got Reptile Systems giving us the UV bulbs for the tests. What else have we got? I think that's it. And we've got you. How many tarantulas have you got now?
Around 300.
Are you like Peter Webster? I asked him and he went, well, I stopped counting at 300.
No, I've got close on to 300. Yeah,
How many are stuck in your beard?
about 30. Yeah, we've got a couple.
Just a few.
Just a few. Got a lot of the slings as well, though, so they're counted as one.
What? All the slings together are counted as one.
Oh, I should do, yeah, but a lot of them are kind of that size, and it'll take years to get to a good size.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
no good with slings. I'm really not any good with slings. They always die on me.
It's not that they die on me. It's just to go from that to a decent sized spider takes a long time. That's the only thing that annoys me.
Yeah, if they're grown correctly, they take a long time. That's about it.
And
Ellie,
when
can you stop that? That's distracting as hell.
I'm eating it. I'm eating
That's
the
the-
blueberry.
Oh, there we go. That's go on. For the lads. The lads want to see it. Go on.
I've run out of blueberry now, though.
Well, look at these 2 eager sat there like. I like the way our Scott's just kept you on the big screen.
yeah,
Is that taken away from the fact that he's a unicorn?
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Right, here we go. Got an idea. Do you want to film a North Exotics video on this live stream?
Can do. How we
What I was thinking was if we do like the introduction to my followers over what we're planning to do regarding the UV to the tarantula sort of area. So mention that there's not a lot of people doing it and stuff. Try and make it like a sort of podcast that lasts like 10, 15 minutes or so, like that. Have a general discussion over the pros and cons that we think will happen, all that sort of stuff.
Speaking of Peter Webster,
Yeah, you said that wrong. Sir Peter Webster.
Sir, Lord.
Lord Peter Webster. He is the god. He is the king. Does he do videos anymore? I've not really paid too much attention to YouTube.
I think he was doing one this week.
Yeah. He's been and got some. I think he bought 2 snakes off one of my friends. Well, I don't know what though. I know they've read Ridley's Cave Racers. I know they've got the Brazilian Amazon babies and corn snake. I think they might have totems, cresties. So I don't know what he's got.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I mean, the fog system's just come on with Attenborough. And it looks proper cool and eerie.
That's cool.
Oh, I love that snake.
Yeah, that's Nazca snakes and lizards. Very
I
nice.
have a little special something coming into this reptile room. You can help me actually now. Actually, let me just unplug the charger because my phone's virtually dead, so I've got to keep it on charge. Right, let's do it. You know my reptile rooms. Right, I'm gonna have to show you because it won't all fit on the camera. Will it fit like that? There you go. So I've got the big rack system behind me, 2 meters wide. I've got down here these enclosures. There. Oh God, I can't see nothing. The 3-foot enclosure rack. Now, that one, the middle one, that's going because that's the big raw python build that I've got. The
Yeah.
bottom one, empty at the minute. I use that for a few reptile rescues that I might get in here and there. That's Mushu. Mushu is the only one that's staying. I've got a couple of 4-foots just there. But somehow, over that side of the room, I've got to fit an 8-foot enclosure that I'm picking up at the end of the month, which is a ball ache in itself. I don't know how I'm going to fit the 8-foot enclosure along there, those 2 4-foot enclosures, plus another 4-foot enclosure, my leopard gecko one, and Attenborough can go over here. But I don't know what to do with that 3-foot enclosure. And if I play my cards right, I might have a spare shelf on that big rack. I might get a tortoise.
Ooh.
Cool. I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in. How much do you reckon?
It's a shame you're not building it yourself because you could build it as an owl
How do you mean?
in the shape of an owl. So you could put
I was looking at it, but then
4
the only problem with that is the thermal regulation side of it all. But if I can stick it on that shelf there,
you could regulate it.
2 meter long, what is it? 2 meter long, 60 centimeter deep enclosure.
Bloody hell.
That'll do. That's me just trying to figure out a way of actually getting a tortoise because I've been playing with the ones at the rescue, and I'm like, I want them.
Your front room.
No, my front room's already full.
Sell the
well,
telly.
then again,
You don't
say
need
that.
that.
Do you know that big double stack 6-foot enclosure that I've got?
Yeah.
The Bosch monitor at the bottom and the big boa at the top.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's eventually going to go because both of those animals need 8-foot enclosures. So I've got one 8-foot enclosure coming. Guess how much that's cost?
Go on
I
then.
worked it out to build it, and it cost me 500 quid to build it. Glass,
Yeah.
the ceiling, everything, just the actual enclosure, not the full build and background and stuff. That'll cost 500 quid to build it. How much do you reckon it is to buy one?
Oh, $2,000.
250 quid.
250.
Not what you know, mate. It's who you know.
Flipping out, you're telling me.
That's Viv Exotics as well. That's a proper good brand.
Whose arm did you twist?
Cheshire Reptile Rescue have got an account with Hagen. Hagen are the company that own Exoterra, Viv Exotics, and just loads of other brands. And he just turned around to them and said, "Do you make 8-foot enclosures?" And they said to Melissa, "We make this, 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 and this, and this. Trade cost is this, this, and this, and this. I can get a 12-foot by 12-foot enclosure for less than 400 quid.
Wow.
Just get it all off trade prices." And that's what happens when you go to the rescues and just do random crap for them.
Wow. That is pretty awesome.
I need to go back down there, but I've been shafted on my work this week and I've been given middles.
Been given what?
Middle shifts. I normally work late, don't I? That's why I can never make the streams.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Should we do this video for me?
Can do.
Right then. So what we're going to need, is this a good angle for me? What I'm going to do, I'm going to screen record my phone because that'll just get us like this. What I need you to do is occasionally flip between, do you know how you can put the bigger screen on whoever and whatever like that? Occasionally flick, hello. How you doing? That was my Joey impression, by the way. Didn't work out. Yeah, if you can occasionally do that, put your 2 cents in. We'll have just a normal general conversation about UV. Do you want to be? How involved do you want to be, Ellie?
With UV?
Yeah.
Depends
Just with
on how much
the
time.
actual video itself.
We're going to film a video right now.
Fair enough then. If Ellie can keep an eye on the comments, anybody who's actually in the live chat right now gets any questions or anything like that, they can drop them in the live chat. She can pick them up, and we'll occasionally keep popping back to her to sort of get some questions. How's that?
So did you get that chat? He wants me to keep an eye on the chat. So all of you got to ask questions that takes the piss out of them too, and then it makes the video perfectly fine.
Feel free to call him a homosexual fucking unicorn. I don't care. All right. And this is the thing. I don't know how you feel about this stuff. You reckon, have we got anybody in the chat that would like to join this video? Anyone who's got a knowledge on tarantulas or an input on UV, or can get in with a good in-depth sort of conversation about it? If there is somebody, because I know you've got there's one young lad that we speak to quite regularly. I can't remember his name at all. Ben, is that it? He knows absolutely everything to do with every tarantula going.
There's Ben. There's Thomas.
If there's anyone in the chat that wants to get on a Northern Exotics video and have an input, so you're going to be getting in questions, in debates, all that sort of stuff. If you have a good knowledge of tarantulas and you're interested in getting into this conversation, let Scott know. How should they let you know?
In the comments.
Yeah, let them know in the comments. Scott will pass you the link and you can come on and you can get yourself on.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
We'll give it 10 minutes or so, just for all this sort of fix everything sort of thing. And it gives me a chance to get a few bits sorted and hide my alcohol. All right, hold on.
Yeah, you enjoy your dinner, Phil. You don't want to be seen with these pair anyway. Might give you a bad name.
Phil, put your dinner down.
Hey, Scott, as it goes, I've got some bits for you here. For one of your future videos that you do for your reptiles. I'm moving stuff, I'll show you.
Get it on your bed. Bed.
Do you need any UV T8?
T8s, yeah.
What do you need?
Mine are T4s. T5, sorry.
I've only got the T8 lamps. Do you know the big ones? The thicker ones?
Yeah, I've got to change over the 4 foot on the Chameleon. I've got to swap that.
What's that? Is that 5%?
I think it is, yeah. It's only a 5.
T8, as in it's the slightly thicker lamp tube.
It's a...
I need to get more tubes.
The Zone 2, I think. If that means anything.
Here we go, Scott. You've got... I've got to get it up. That's your T5. That's your T8.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
T8's the thicker one. T5's the thinner one. What do you want?
I think all mine are T8s at the moment.
Yeah, that's about the same as mine. So, what we'll do is... So what do you want? 4 foot long for your Chameleon, yeah?
Yep.
Right, so I'll put your name on that one.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no,
I've just-
these have come from a brand deal that we've got, that's all.
I've just blasted Phil about 100 messages. Can everybody else also blast him 100 messages to get on here as well?
Ellie, what do you need?
I need T8 for Beardy Dragon.
So 10%. How long?
Huh?
How long?
Do you know what I've just done? I've just sent Leah and Phil the GoFundMe for Mark instead of the actual link.
Huh.
So how much do I owe you for the bulb?
Don't. These come for these came to me for free for a brand deal. If you do you do videos, Ellie?
Yeah.
If you do a video, I'll contact me on Insta in a few days or something,
Are
and I'll
you
tell you the
saying you don't
details.
have my channel?
See what? I don't know. I don't watch YouTube.
You don't have my channel. You've been
I don't
here
watch.
chatting with me for over a year. You don't fucking have my channel.
I knew that would come in. As soon as you said, do you do videos, I was thinking, you just get Ellie bait.
Okay, then I'll sweeten the pot. Do any of you use jelly pots?
I've never tried jelly pots, but I was going to give them a try.
I've got some 3D printed jelly pot holders. They're the ones that magnet onto the enclosures.
Mm.
Great for
I've
the
got a couple
crest.
of them. Yeah, crested geckos. I use them for the morning geckos as well. I'll drop them in as well. They're from the same company. See what?
You have the short bulbs as well.
See
Like
what?
3 foot ones.
3 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What strength? I'll drop them in as well.
A low one if for sunscreen.
That one?
Yeah, that's all right.
5%.
I got a 4 foot one in there at the moment, but I got it in on an angle.
Scott, do you need any of the 5% while I'm here?
Any other one? Sorry.
5%.
Yeah, I like it.
What length? I've not got long ones for the 5%, the smaller ones, but I can chuck one of them in.
Have you got 2 foot?
Leah, are you going fan on?
Yeah,
That'd be
sorry.
good.
I'll put your name on that one, Scott.
Is that better?
Thank you. Hi, Leah.
Just
Hello.
turn it so it's not blowing into the microphone. That's all.
I know it's behind the camera. That's the only problem.
Oh, Richard,
There you go.
you're in
Get some
now.
tunes over the next few days, and we'll get
Philip.
them.
Richard, you know Leah, don't you?
Yeah, the usual pets.
Oh, you know
Phil.
what channel?
Hold on a sec. So
I've
if
been
I
annoying
turn
them
around
for
and say
years. It's great.
If I turn around and say that I know Leah, will Ellie get annoyed that I know
I
Leah
already
and
know
not her?
that you know Leah now.
Leah really likes Richard. Really, really.
Hey.
Do you know Phil as well?
I really
Phil,
like
no.
everybody.
That's Incredible Inverts of Animals. He works. What zoo did you work at, Phil?
Shepard.
Wildlife Park.
Who's the one with the dodgy microphone here?
Is it me?
He's a fan. He's got a microphone.
Hang on. It's mine.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
any better?
Yep.
Because Leah's in the bedroom again, Richard.
Oh, hello.
She's always in the bedroom.
My heart's all for Ellie tonight.
Get away.
Oh.
What are you creeping for?
I'm subscribed to you.
That's all right. I'll unsubscribe
Yeah.
from you. You didn't even support me this whole time.
Oh,
Sorry, I just turned the fan off altogether.
that's so. Sorry, I can't.
Hey, Christine. Hey, LJ.
Hi,
Scott,
Hi, Christine.
Scott, while I'm writing down on the whiteboard all a few bullet points and stuff. Can you run through? Is it Phil? Is that his name? Is that your name,
Yeah,
Phil? Incredible Inverts and Other Animals. And if you can run through them, what the plan is, just while I quickly run through this.
Hello, Phil.
Hello.
Richard is going to do a video on his channel, and he's going to screen capture what we say now, and then it's going to go on to his. But remember from last week when we were on about the tarantulas with UV light,
Mhm.
having a discussion about that, and then obviously then leading on to doing it at some point in the future as well as. But obviously you had a massive input in that last week, didn't you?
Oh, Leah, did you see what I got? Look.
Yeah,
No.
someone that's been.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like the past couple of
A
years.
heart one.
I got two.
With Frances Baines. Getting her input in on it.
I need a Halloween one.
I didn't see any.
Hold on. What was that, Phil, again?
Yeah, it's something that we've been discussing for the past sort of couple of years with Frances Baines.
Do you remember that name from the one that I just mentioned, Scott?
Yeah, Richard's hooking up with him.
Her.
I don't know.
That's
She is
Frances
the
Baines.
UV queen.
The UV
She
Queen.
is the
UV queen.
god,
She
the
is
god of
the
all
nicest
things.
person going.
She's the one. Do you know on the back of? Let's have a look. See if they've got it. See all these charts on the back of the UV lamps. She's the one that makes those charts. She does it over all the UV lamps. She does so much. And do you know what the thing is? It's not really her job. It's more of a hobby. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
fascinating some of the work
She
she
took
does.
it on herself because no one was doing it.
What do you reckon
Yeah.
her thoughts are on the Ferguson zone?
Well, we're going to get into that on the video. We'll discuss that in detail shortly, shall we? Because my theory is you need a Ferguson scale for tarantulas if UV is beneficial for tarantulas. Screw it. I can't think of what to write on the whiteboard, so we're just going to wing it. They're normally the better ones, aren't they?
Okay.
Turn the mic on. Let's start. Yeah.
Leah, how's Tiny? Is he shit everywhere yet? And weebies.
Not today. Oh, he's probably feeling a bit like crowded because I've put the butterfly thing back up on top of him. I found more caterpillars.
Oh. Did you take him for his flying lesson?
No. Connie went for a ride in the car, though.
Oh, nice.
She got out the door and she wouldn't come back in the house until she went in the car. So Terry had to take her for a ride in the car and bring her back. Everyone's gone quiet.
Yeah, Richard's fiddling with his bits, that's why.
I'm just sorting out some details. Yeah, I'm just sorting out some details.
Oh, Ellie. One of the
Media
babies is
sound.
out.
Oh, get it. Bring it to me. Let me see.
Okay.
Scott, does modesty need you?
Okay, but we're not going to use this footage until I've introduced it.
I'd say yes. Leah would say no.
Actually, Leah might say yes, because we figured out some of the babies wasn't eating very well, and then we took them out in the sun, and then we got them to eat way more.
Terry's got loads of snake racks, so
You can stick UV in a snake rack.
They're both out.
Oh,
I got this one.
not put it bigger.
They've got not perlite hats right all over them.
oh,
It's a banana.
It doesn't look like a banana. It looks like a snake.
I thought it was an apple.
It's
Oh,
banana.
Where'd he gone?
Try and get all this the stuff off him. Here you go. Look at his little face. He's very small, this one. He's tiny compared to the other one. And this is the other one.
Oh, wow.
It's an identical replica of his dad.
Oh,
It's
Dad?
the banana pinstripe Mojave.
Oh,
They're very cute.
they are cute.
They're so
You got
little.
baby A and baby B.
Yeah, it's really hard for us to decide whether or not we want to sell them.
Thank you, Spider-Man. There you go, Scott. I did it for you.
Yeah, same, Ellie. Thank you, Spider-Man. 1978.
Yeah, because
Thank you, Christine.
Scott sounds like he's been penetrated up the ass every time he says that.
Look how cute they are.
Oh,
Oh, his little tongue just blapped. Did you see it?
Yeah, we love you too.
Love you too.
Yep.
That's what 2 minutes is later.
hi, Hannah.
Hi.
Yeah, look, this one's very, very thin. I'm not sure about it. This one's nice and chubby.
Just
Well,
feed
you
it.
are-
It'll be fine.
I'm wearing no t-shirts. You
Yeah,
want to lucky
Hope so.
I hope you're wearing a t-shirt tomorrow, Hunter.
Oh, he's wearing one tomorrow. At the minute, he's going to bed.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a big day tomorrow. The cast's coming off.
Yeah,
Sorry,
don't
scared.
mention it. Oh yeah, Mummy, I can now move my wrist inside of my cast, but it really hurts when I do.
Well, don't do it then.
My brain keeps
Right.
on moving.
We'll be back now.
Richard says give him 5 minutes. His
I got tiny little spiders everywhere.
his phone overheated or some shit.
Oh,
Where's Princess gone?
he's probably gone to have a wank. Oh, here he comes.
Hey,
Lesson learned: don't try and charge my phone and do a million other things at once.
they don't like it, do they?
No. Are we ready?
Yeah. Just got to wait for Leah, wherever she's gone.
So the score is, Scott, if you put me on the big screen to start with.
That's Phil.
That's Phil. There we go. Right,
Yeah.
we're going to do it like this.
It
So
does
I'm going
take time to
to
swap it over.
I'm going to do the sort of introduction sort of thing, and then if Scott can open it up, and then we introduce everybody. So with the introduction to everybody, if you can say who you are, feel free to plug your channel, and then what your experience is with tarantulas. Or in Phil's case, feel free to mention the zoo and all that sort of stuff like that. Then we'll start. I'll just start off and we'll just end up in a conversation. We'll just talk for as long as the conversation actually lasts. Is that good with everybody?
I'm not plugging anything anywhere, by the way.
What? Do what you want. Feel free. So if we start sort of in a minute, then Ellie, if Ellie picks up any comments, we'll go back to a few comments and stuff like that. If anyone's got any questions in the chat. So if you are in the chat, feel free to actually stick a question down, whether it's to do with like tarantulas' eyes with UV or anything like that. Feel free. Right.
Yeah, so try and keep the comments sort of relative to what is happening.
Yeah, remember this is a video on my channel, so it's got to be relative to this topic.
Okay.
Right. How shall I hook it? How shall I hook it to start with? Are we ready?
Why am I nervous?
Because you're going on a Northern Exotics video in front of 28,000 subscribers.
That's
Not to
not.
have the nerve, obviously. Right, are we ready?
We should.
Yeah. Who's
Three. Do what?
what order's people introducing themselves?
I'll introduce you, and then you just introduce from there onwards. How's that sound? You can pick and
As in,
choose.
fuck you for them.
I'll do the hook, the original intro, and then I'll just say, and here we've got, to help us with this debate, we've got Scott from Scott's Inverts. Then you just open the screen up to whoever, you or all of us or whatever, and then you introduce yourself, mention sort of who you are, your channel, and how many tarantulas you've got, how long you've been keeping them. Just a little introduction on who you are, and then you just pass it over to the next person. And then the next person will pass it over to them and stuff like that. We'll just go like that, and we'll just keep it like a podcast sort of conversation.
Okay.
So, you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. In this video, we're going to be talking all about how... No, I said that fucking wrong. This is how many takes it can take.
Don't we all?
If you don't have to do it like at least 5 times, you ain't doing it properly.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it. That's the thing, though. Once you start, you just start. This is everyone in the chat going, ah! In this video, we're going to be discussing, can tarantulas have UV? What benefits can they potentially have? Why are we doing this? Well, simply because nobody else is doing it. Here, we've got a fair few people to help us with a bit more knowledge than what I actually have. Introducing Scott from Scott's Inverts. Introduce yourself, Scott. And he's gone. Where is he? There he is.
So I'm Scott. I'm from Scott's Inverts on YouTube. I've got, as you can see, a lot of tarantulas behind me. Absolutely love them. Been keeping them for several years now, and in the last sort of 12 months, moving into reptiles as well as. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at the UV, and do tarantulas need it?
In the comment section down below, am I the only one that thinks he looks like a bit of a unicorn with that hair? Show them your hair. Who's next?
We'll have Leah.
Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah from Unusual Pets. I own about 44 tarantulas. Absolutely love them. Been keeping them now for about 4 years. And I also have a lot of reptiles and other pets. A lot.
So as you can tell, with the amount of people that we've brought into this chat here, we've got a lot of experience that are going to help us through this decision whether UV is capable for tarantulas. Are there going to be any downsides? Are there going to be any positives? Who have we got next?
We have Ellie from Ellie's Bug Babies.
Hi, Ellie. And she's a bit shy, so she's a bit quiet.
I'm not shy. I'm Ellie from Ellie's Bug Babies. I got spiders, I got dogs, I got pregnant cats, I got non-pregnant cats, I got reptiles. I got friends that are loopy like Scott, friends that are just don't even ask like Richard. And then we've got.
Am I right in saying you're a bit Welsh? Am I right in saying you're Welsh, Ellie?
Am I right in saying you're a knob, Richard?
Yeah, I pretty much am. I pretty much am. Who's next?
That's Welsh too.
We have Phil from Incredible Inverts and Other Animals.
Hello, I'm Phil. I wear many hats. I'm from the YouTube channel Incredible Inverts and Other Animals, but I'm also the head of reptiles and invertebrates at Sheffield Wildlife Park in Cambridgeshire.
So we've got some experience in the zoos joining us for this debate, so to speak. So where do we start this debate? Let's go down the lines of, can tarantulas have UV lighting? We'll start with the downsides. What are people's downsides with keeping UV for tarantulas?
As in the actual home itself?
Yeah, in the enclosure, why don't people have UV? What are they scared of? What's the downsides?
I personally think people don't, because it's one of those things that's not been done before.
Yeah.
So therefore, why should we start doing it now? And
that's the thing. I think we can all agree that do tarantulas need UV? And I think the answer is no. Quite frankly, they don't need UV. We've proven that in the hobby for years and years and years. But the question is, similar to leopard geckos, do they benefit? Leopard geckos don't need UV, but do tarantulas benefit from UV? And that's something that's not been tested, or to my knowledge has not been tested over the years. Where we are going to test on this channel, both me and Scott from Scott's Inverts are going to test this. We've got a few people helping us out, a few scientific researchers in the past, but we need to sort of start off. We can't just put a UV lamp in there, because we need to alter the setups. We need to add in extra hides. We need to allow for that animal to escape the UV if he so feels the need to. So we do. What else can we change inside the enclosures? Because there is going to be a lot of UV blasting into that enclosure.
Just add a comment.
I think in the wild they have a lot of dappled light and stuff under the branches. So I think there's going to need to be a lot of research doing in the actual natural habitat and how they live in that natural habitat, and try and replicate that a bit more in our enclosures.
That's it. What you would need from kind of a more scientific point of view is a UVI reading from the area, and basically on where the tarantulas are being found in the wild, of what that UVI is. And even studies of perhaps how long, if they're out in it, how long are they out in it? So I think how dappled.
Now we are lucky.
What the breed
we are
is.
quite lucky with the likes of the Brachypelma genus, because the Brachypelma genus has been well documented on YouTube by Andy Smith. But even the technology and science back then wasn't up to UVI. It wasn't up to Ferguson zones. So he never tested that while he was out in Mexico on the banks of the Rio Bauces River. So we don't have clean access to that in that genre, in that exact same location. So that's something we need to try and find out to start with. But that leads us on to the next generation of tarantulas come from so many different parts of the world, and the UVI is totally different in all of those locations. So do we need to make up a Ferguson scale, a Ferguson zone for tarantulas?
We can use the original Ferguson zone poster, because a lot of the spiders are from the same areas a lot of the reptiles do.
But that's the thing, the Ferguson zones don't just rely on areas. You look at the likes of a Savannah monitor and a Royal Python, they both come from the same place, but a Royal Python sits on Ferguson zone 2, I think it is, whereas a Savannah monitor sits on Ferguson zone 4. That's to do with the activity of the actual animal. A Savannah monitor is more of a sun worshipper, constantly going out trying to find that sun, whereas a Royal Python is more crepuscular and nocturnal species, so it's only out through the nighttime sort of areas. So we need to keep that into mind when we're creating a sort of Ferguson zone scale for these specific animals, especially tarantulas.
Yeah, but do you not think when putting UV in a tarantula enclosure, like look how we all keep our tarantulas, right? Their enclosures ain't exactly huge. So do you not think the bulbs are too big to begin with all the bulbs I've seen available?
Well, that's where you can go down the lines of, I'm pretty certain there's been a lot of testing and development done for, these UV bulbs, but a lot smaller, and just instead of it being coiled up like this, but just a little loop, Now, I know that there's a company, I can't name the company because the patents haven't gone through yet, so nobody can steal those things. But there is patents pending for little tiny UV lamps. The problem they're having is trying to get, say, that lamp there is an Exoterra 10%. How can they get 10% worth of UV into a tiny lamp if the animal is a sun basker out in nature? If it's a sun basker out in nature, it needs a 10% sort of bulb, or a Ferguson Zone 3 bulb. They're just struggling to get it out of that little bulb. So that's still where there's a lot of testing and development in the actual trade. But what's not stopping, say, something like that fits perfectly in a 30 centimeter wide Exoterra, in the Exoterra canopy. I've got a tarantula up there, the salmon pink bird eater, in a 45 centimeter. So we can fit UV in there, and we can make it powerful enough to pass through the mesh. But what do we need to then do in the actual enclosure to allow for that to happen? We're going to have like naturalistic materials to absorb some of it and deflect some of it. But then we're going to have some different ranges of hides, like total pitch black hides, somewhere they can bask on top of, somewhere they can get secondary basking UV that reflects off the slate and stuff like that. We get so much detail, but we do really need to think of the safety of the animal before actually adding in UV.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't use Exoterras. A lot of people are still using like rubs and stuff like that. So, like plugging a bulb, one of them wouldn't necessarily be the best idea.
It has been found, unless they've changed the plastic, that really useful boxes do transmit a percentage of UV through the plastic.
I think we should test that. Right. I think we should test that.
Because I remember France and Spain saying that at a conference I was at, that they found that actually a percentage of UV will transmit through the lid of a really useful box.
That's actually quite good, because if you have a rack like Ellie, you could put one long bulb across the inside, and then obviously have multiple boxes off one bulb, which is going to cost less money, which I think is another thing that people probably panic about with that kind of thing being like bought into the hobby, would be prices. Like, because obviously people can get a tarantula for a couple of quid, put it in a box they got from Poundland, and they're living fine. And so how many people
that's
are going to...
That's exactly the same mentality with leopard geckos. You can buy a leopard gecko for £30. You can put them in a tiny little shoebox tub, and you're still going to ideally need UV to go over the top of that, which is, I mean, you could be spending £50-60 for an Eco T5 unit sort of thing. So I did get the mentality behind that, but the reptile hobby has shifted into that. I can confidently say that leopard geckos benefit massively from UV lighting, and a lot more people are altering their setups to accommodate that. What's not stopping you from getting a full racking shelf, just like I've got up here, and sticking a strip UV lamp across the whole top? Find a material where the UV actually passes through and use that as a lid.
That idea would work really well if, say, you had tarantulas from the rainforest, because even if the box didn't pass through, you would get spotlights, which is why you would get in the rainforest, because it would go through the holes, which would be more natural for them.
Yeah. Well, what can't you do? Like, so you're on about dappled light, which is a reduced UVI. So that's where you'd put it on a Ferguson Zone 1, Ferguson Zone 2. So it's not as intense a UVI as it would naturally be above that tree canopy. Or either that, or you can get like palm trees and just sort of dapple the light over the top of the enclosures. That's an idea.
People have used things like, especially like in reptiles and in zoos, things like camo netting over the top to help create that effect as well.
That's a good idea.
But that's where the Ferguson zones come into play, because like I say, the Royal Python and the Savannah monitors come from the same place, but they're on different Ferguson zones. And that's because of the intensity of the UV when that animal's actually awake.
Yeah, and it depends if
Maybe
you're doing sunbeam method or shade method.
Yeah, but you can get like the shade dweller. That's dedicated to the animals that don't have the intense UV, like in the rainforest. So if you've got rainforest tarantulas and desert tarantulas, they should be on two totally different Ferguson zones on the scale. Ferguson Zone 1, the ones that come from the dashboard line, don't get the ones
actually burrow away from the heat of the day, and they come out more towards night time.
Now, do they burrow from the heat or the UV intensity? Because UV hasn't got any heat towards it. It's got infrared where the heat is. They both come under the UVI, but if they're burrowing from the heat, then you just lower the infrared. If they're burrowing from the UV, then you just go on a lower Ferguson zone to counteract it.
It's generally thought that they burrow away from the heat, but then if you look at something like the Kerang Kraken, which actually comes from that national park as well as, that burrows down, and the Kerang Kraken National Park temperatures can drop quite low, but that's still down in that burrow, and it's still down in that burrow when it floods.
Yeah, but
And that's solely because under that burrow, the temperature is the stable temperature. It doesn't have the massive increase in heat through the day and the massive drop at night. It's a stable temperature.
They also burrow because in the desert and places like that, they get most of their moisture and their water content from down below. That's why they dig so fast.
So are they deep burrowers then?
Some are.
So this is where we're going to need more than just a Ferguson scale, a Ferguson zone scale for these, because you're going to need to take the natural habitat into place. If you're thinking about adding UV into your tarantula, you need to match their habitat and how they would naturally behave in that habitat before even thinking about adding UV. If the UV is too much for them and they want to burrow out of it, you need to give them the environment to be able to burrow out of it. The burrow as deep as they want.
I think if you take a couple of the more common species and run the tests on those, and if it's proven positive, then start looking at that other species.
That's also a great idea, yes.
So if you take an LP and Brachypelma, Talita cattle, vegans or something like that, then you've got two spiders from different environments that you can then test at.
So there's an awful lot of testing that actually needs to be physically done in this environment before it. We need to figure out the different tests in all the different environments to be able to find what is the best UVI and the best environment for that specific species before adding UV. That's just the way it is.
You could take like your salmon pink and a curly hair and something like something from Asia, like a pokey, like a P. metallica or something, and then you'd need two spiders from each species running this. Where's he gone now?
Bye, Richard.
Yeah, so two spiders from each species. Continue.
He's recording it, isn't it? So was recording it, but you need two spiders from each species running identical enclosures, one with UV, one without UV, and then you'd have to measure the growth rates of both, when they both molt, the feed that they take, water that they take, even when they reach sexual maturity, which you're only going to know from a molt anyway.
Yeah, but can I just address an issue that nobody's actually addressed?
If it's females.
Go ahead.
Most of our spiders are captive bred. A lot of the parents haven't been kept in UV. Their systems would have adapted over the years they've been captive bred to live that way and adapt that way. So if we start introducing things they're now not used to or not got the skills to deal with, that could also be a problem.
You could argue the same for some snakes and geckos, though.
Yeah.
You could.
And then it's still been...
And we've found massive benefits.
It's a different from emotional support and physical. Do you know what I mean? Where usually obviously physical, which then obviously leads into the emotional.
Thing to keep in, bear in mind that they're not really used to it anymore.
Yeah, but they probably haven't been bred in captivity long enough to change that much. That's like evolution, really. Yeah,
a lot of captive breeding.
Yeah, and when
thousands of years,
the majority are still being wild caught anyway.
This is true.
It's I would say a lot of them have not changed enough to say that they would you to introduce you do it in a slow way.
It says For fuck's sake, give him 5 minutes. We'll be back on again. His phone's over again.
Bailey has a good point.
I think Lizzie was on about the UV being on the outside, not the inside of the Viv, which makes sense. Leslie said she got a T Vegans years ago from a seller, and it came with a heat lamp and a UV light, and the tea never came out. When I removed them, the tea was always out. I would have thought that's probably more to do with the heat lamp, because the heat lamp and tarantulas don't really mix very well.
Yeah.
Dave says UV should give a day-night cycle for tarantulas as they would get in the wild, so this would benefit their feeding responses. Then you'd have to look at the seasons, because obviously some seasons in some countries with things like winter, UV is going to decrease dramatically. So do you keep it the same all the way through the year, or do you change it as the seasons do? Because with reptiles, you tend to keep it the same all the way through the year. You don't bother changing it for the seasons.
That's me, and that's going on to road. That's something that I know someone is looking into, of whether they can actually. I think he's trying to build a thermostat that you can hook up to weather stations that will then change and fluctuate every single day.
That will be amazing.
The stuff he's trying to do is absolutely amazing.
They do
That
it.
is incredible.
They do it for marine already. I was talking to my mate about
the technology's there. The technology is there.
Already there. It's like that pro-thermal heat stuff you were showing us the other week, Phil.
Oh, the new Thermal Zoo from Arcadia.
Yeah, why is that not all programmable and hooked up to your phone? Why is it not on? Why is it on 3 plugs and not just one?
Well, it's on that because of it'll never be on one plug probably, because you want a thermostat for the heat sources and not a thermostat obviously for the UV or LED sources on that. I think they put it on 3 plugs so that you can have basically set the 2 heat sources to separate temperatures if you need to.
But if you
It'd be really cool if it was like a smart thing, like you can use it on your phone.
Yeah, I
And
know.
control it.
I know some companies been looking at doing that for at least 3 or 4 years.
See,
I know the king of DIY. I don't know if you've seen him, the fish guy on YouTube.
with marine, you can set it up so you can do your wave makers off the same plug or same extension, same setup, your heater, your flow rate on your pump, even down to your micro dosing, and then you get it all on your phone, and you can get texts to tell you what your temperature's at, what your phosphates are at, what your nitrates are at, and everything else on your fish tank. So
I think what a lot of it comes down to is
that basic computer unit is sitting there waiting to be programmed to say two heat sources, 2 light bulbs, and a thermometer.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to money, and I think with the marine, I mean, I'm not experienced in marine side of things at all, but from what I've seen, people are more willing to spend money when it comes to keeping marine fish than what it comes to when keeping reptiles.
Because if you don't spend the money when it comes to marine, the marine fish die.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
pretty simple as that. You have to have your marine perfect.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, one thermostat company I went to, their best selling thermostat is their 30 quid on-off stat.
Yeah.
And they hate it themselves, and so the only reason they manufacture it is because if they don't, people just won't buy a thermostat.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to spend £100 on a thermostat.
Another thing with marine as well, they always tend to be bigger tanks instead of small tanks like this, because to maintain the parameters of a bigger body of water is easier to do than a small body, because a tiny mistake in a tiny tank is going to fuck that tank up, whether a tiny mistake in a big tank gives you a little bit of buffering period.
Yeah, that's it. So I think a lot of it comes down to money, of why we don't have that sort of technology yet in the reptile sort of side of things. Because these companies, it would be, I mean, far beyond me, but they would be able to do it so easily.
And marine is more popular than reptile, isn't it? Fish keeping. Plus, you want that water to be crystal clear, because if it's not crystal clear, people who come around are going to question you, or they're going to be like, I
And
can't
again,
think there's fish in there.
if it's not, that water parameters aren't again on point, you're gonna end up losing your fish. And so, whereas a lot of reptiles and certainly inverts they're survivors.
It's already coming into play a little bit, because the amount of people that keep inverts that I talk to via social media apps on video links, and they sit there and go, "Oh yeah, hold on, Alexa, lights on, boom, lights come on." It's moving that way.
It's getting there, and it all takes time. And sometimes I think with some of these things, people sometimes almost get kind of scared of like, oh, it's so much. I want to just like break it down, do a tiny little bit.
Yeah, but what's even better is if you had that box. So you've got your plant grow strip, you've got your UV strip, you've got your day, your night heat bulbs, or however you're setting it up, and you've got a digital display that you can set it up. The guy in the pet shop can go, "Oh yeah, this is how you want it. Seasons 3," and then it can change throughout the year. All you need to do is plug it in, and then if anything faults, if any of the bulbs go, you get a text straight to your phone. Go straight down to the pet shop. "Oh yeah, it's this fault," and they can say, "Oh yeah, you need this bulb. Swap that. Swap it. It's already set. It's already set up. Boom."
Yeah.
Booties need heat mat. The reason I asked, when my daughter got her T. albipilosus, it came with a mat attached to the enclosure. I was advised to take it off, but keep it close to the enclosure. It depends which tarantula it is. Majority do need heat, yeah, but you need to measure the temperature inside the enclosure and then see how far away you keep that heat mat.
It depends.
I can't use heat mats with mine because I probably kill them by overheating them.
Yeah, that's the risk with, especially with mats. Mats are horrible.
Just put a thermostat in your room.
Yeah, go on. My room is on 28 degrees already.
So, mats are just absolutely horrible. And with tarantulas, I think heat the room. It's definitely better for them.
Yeah.
Plus, when you heat the room, you get several temperatures across your shelving units as well. So your cooler tarantula species you can keep lower down, and your warmer ones you can keep higher up.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Robbie.
Hi, Wobby.
So.
Hey, Robbie.
Or what some people do, if you've only got a few, is find something like a viv or something. They can put the enclosure in a viv and have like heat cable or something on the back or whatever, and you're just heating that, and then that's airspace. But certainly, any kind of heating like that, you definitely want on a thermostat.
The only problem I got with that is the ventilation. You've got to have some ventilation flow.
Oh yeah, you want all the ventilation in there as well.
Leslie says, in her opinion, there's not been enough research being put into tarantulas, so there will always be millions of questions. Very true. But I mean,
it's difficult to get people researching it as well. It's really difficult to get funding to actually research it and stuff, or to get because in zoos, that's something that we've discussed this actually for a few years now. Of in general UV usage of all inverts, and we rely so heavily on getting university students coming in to do research and various things. No one, well, pretty much hardly anyone ever wants to do it on inverts.
I'll have a go.
Because they're not interesting. They always want to do it on, food preference for a tiger. We know that. We've done that for years and years and years.
Yeah.
What do meerkats like? We know that. We've done that for years and years and years. They like anything. Stuff. It's always those sorts of things. You go, here's something that would be really useful for zoos and everyone else. Can you research, have a look at doing, literally setting up tanks and doing UV usage and stuff and having a look. And no one wants to know.
Is he pro?
Universities just don't want to know, and students
don't
want
no.
to know.
He's
What's the matter? Let me guess, it didn't record anything.
No, it recorded perfectly fine, but because the mic's actually on this stream, it didn't record any sound.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I could have told
no.
you that to begin with.
I didn't know that to start with.
Why didn't you, Ellie?
That's shit.
I thought that he just knew that, and that's why he already had planned to do whatever. I don't know.
Not happy.
Night, Mark.
Oh,
Yeah.
night,
I'm proper gutted. That was going so well as well.
We don't use UV at the moment, right? They seem to burrow. They eat, they molt completely fine. And more importantly, they breed. I would have thought
It's
if
going
a
to that thing
tarantula
of,
was in a shite environment, it might not necessarily breed because it's not a good environment for these slings to then grow up in. Do you know what I mean? Amount of times I've seen on YouTube a shit setup and then suddenly the male gets munched instantly. That could be due to the setup. Might be due to the females not being fed. Don't know, but it happens. I'm just wondering if that's part of it.
but the counter that, there's also some people will say that actually the higher the stress and actually the worse the environment, the more likely suffers to breed because they need to quickly pass on their genes before they die
An interesting fact.
and stuff. And there's been that it's started to be kind of branded around.
But then
and
you start looking at the lungs of if they haven't got the UV, they can't synthesize the calcium deposits through the different aspects of their body.
Oh,
And it won't, like, for egg layers, it won't calcify the eggs to be able to pass that gene
it's
on.
not necessarily going to be a healthy thing, but yeah, some people, I know some people like that. There's probably, whether there's evidence, is nothing. It's all anecdotal. I've said like, I kind of use it as like, is that why so many people will raw python breeders keep raw pythons in such tiny enclosures, but yet get lots and lots of breeders just because they're stressing them out? And the thing,
It's definitely an aspect to look into.
sort of thing. There's that. So it's like we can't like in zoos now. We don't go with the whole like it's eating, it's pooing, it's breeding. They must be fine. kind of thing anymore. Kind of thing.
I know the locusts breed a lot better with UV.
No.
Oh.
But I think, do they need it? Probably not. Is it beneficial? Could be. And in zoos, most of us actually in zoos we tend to actually, without thinking about it, we have UV tubes over all our inverts.
Yeah.
We're looking at actually providing UV for our live feeds. A few zoos are now doing that already.
Yeah.
We're now looking actually starting. I think Marwell, I think it is. They've started doing welfare assessments on their live feeds and stuff, and they're including them in there. And like, do these have good welfare?
Yeah.
Just been on about breeding spiders. So Robbie said it could be also due to that being conditioned correctly before the breeding attempt.
Yeah.
Bailey says Dan and other breeders good with conditioning, but when you condition a female, it's known as seasoning. So you run that female through the seasons for breeding. So if you put UV into that and give a strong UV like it's the summer, and then turn that UV down.
When you turn that UV down, do you add in a rainy season or just a lower temperature to coincide with the season?
Yeah,
would you then have a bigger egg sac, stronger slings? Would the male not get munched straight away? All the rest of it?
Yeah, it's all potential stuff that, And again,
But Bailey did say, don't you need UV for exoskeletons anyway?
Well, it will help calcify and synthesize everything. It will definitely strengthen up the new exoskeleton quicker. But will it strengthen the old exoskeleton too much? But then again, the tarantula will know that itself. So if he wants to get out of the UV rays, he will get out of the UV rays, given the opportunity to get out of them. So if you've got enough hides, enough pitch black hides and normal hides, it will.
Yeah, and it's all that. It's choice. It's giving the animal choice. And again,
Again, I think that's where you need to run several spiders from the same species together.
All in exactly the same
Conditions, apart
well, not
from
really the same
UV.
conditions, because you
Well-
can do one in a bare minimum setup like is commonly kept, and all the way up. One with a bare setup and one with a bare setup with UV, which will probably be detrimental to the actual tarantula. And then you go right up to a fully naturalistic setup with a UV and a fully naturalistic setup without a UV, and just see the differences. Feed them exactly the same food, the same amount, and so on and so on.
I think you need the naturalistic setup with UV and without UV, because then you get the most natural behaviours you possibly can from being in captivity off that spider. If you keep it on bare substrate, it's going to be stressed out already, so you're not going to get the same responses and behaviours that you would out of one that's being kept in perfect conditions.
You say
And
that,
you're probably
but
going to
why-
need more than one, because you're going to have to like make sure you've got, because it could be a fluke. Do you know what I mean? You need to make sure that you have multiple so they're all behaving the same for that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you've got one that, like, you know, it could be, I don't know, it could die of natural causes without you knowing, and then you could be blaming the UVB. You need to have like about 5 or 6, maybe 10, like a little steady group.
And we run our tests in uni. We have to take 10 samples. Everything needs to be done in 10.
Yeah, and that's
That's with water, isn't it?
and that's
Not
the
just
more.
water, we got to look at, because in my class we do species as well, different species, different. So we do aquarium species, like what you find in different lakes and rivers, to on-land species, different habitats around
Well,
Europe, China, and
That's
all that.
pretty easy, because just with us here, we could easily do 5 each. So that's 25 of the same
exactly.
species. And they're all, and you could have 5 enclosures underneath a 4-foot light bulb, 4-foot UV, as well as. And to cancel the last one, you can just put something there to block it, block that UV coming through.
Ellie, your cat's got the zoomies.
Well,
So they're
they
playing each other again.
they would all have to be kept, like, you know, in the same area of your house as well, with the same humidity, the same temperature.
Scott, do you know how much work goes into actually recording these things? Because it is
No, Ellie.
hard work. Any tiny change
No idea.
you make, you have to record.
Exactly.
When the
Well,
bulb,
I'm not.
bulb goes off, where you fed them, where you've given them, because otherwise it can be non-void.
I'm not saying that you don't record all that. I did 3 years at college in science, so I'm quite aware. There will be a lot of things to write down. A lot.
Yeah, you have to keep full records of everything you do. When you change the UVs, what the UVI ratings are. I mean, I'm quite lucky because I do have a solar meter here, so I can keep track of all that sort of stuff. You're going to have to keep track of humidities, and then not just inside the enclosure, but outside the enclosure as well.
How did we originally test the reptiles?
They originally tested the reptiles
They
with
get a ball python, and then did they then get 10 of each species, of each morph, and run a test on all of those? Or did they just simply go to where the ball pythons live, measure the UV, and go, yeah, they need this UV strength, and that's it?
I can't really say they do it like that because, like I said previously, the Savannah Monitor and the Ball Pythons come from the same location. They're on different Ferguson zones. So I can't really see it being like that. I would say they've been out there and checked it. Like,
how did they work out what Ferguson zones are required, and how could we
by
use
checking the natural habitat? They check the natural habitat at all those different times of the day. Studied the animal when it was most active, when it was out, when it was basking. They would have spent years and years and years trying to figure out when that animal was basking and stuff like that.
And then also probably doing blood tests on captive animals to see what the calcium levels are in the blood. So
Yeah, they could be doing different like that.
So if you do that on a tarantula, you risk killing it because they'll just bleed and bleed.
I don't think we could do it to tarantulas blood test wise, but we could definitely look at how they molt compared to how they don't molt without UV lighting.
Yeah, you'd be wanting. Yeah, you'd be basically comparing behaviours and stuff, and kind of what's seen as natural behaviour.
Should we go over to the eyesight of the animal, because it has been shown in captivity that an animal with UV lighting has a sharper eyesight, a much more determined feeding response and stuff like that. Do you think that's going to be the same case with tarantulas, especially with their eyes being on top of their head?
I'm going to say probably not, because a lot of tarantulas like those dark environments. Like, you know, your pokies will live inside there.
Yeah. Fair enough then. But like, if you're
What they can
inside a dark house with your curtains closed and you walk out, it does shock you to start with, but then all of a sudden you do get used to it quite quick. Is that the same? Does like, take for instance with leopard geckos, if you provide UV lighting, their eyesight does improve. It's just known over a fact. I don't know whether it's like they get color vision like you see with some of the species, or whether they just get a sharper, they can spot things, or whether it just changes their specific body to make them more alert. I don't know. But could it happen with tarantulas? Is that going to be a possibility, or is it going to be detrimental to the tarantula's eyes having UV? Personally, I think if it's too bright for them, they will actually just escape from the UV. Given the amount of hides that you can provide them, they can just escape.
You give enough hides, and they might cryptically bask in it. So
yeah, well, they can partially bask, just like leopard geckos do.
I think that's the key. Is looking.
So you could have a pokey down in a cork tube and still be getting a tiny bit of UV light. But
the UV can be absorbed and deflected from all surfaces within that enclosure.
Yep.
So it could be absorbed into the cork bark or the natural rock material or whatever, and just slowly be released off. Now, when the light's actually on, it gets deflected off all the natural materials. When the light turns off, it's still seeping off that natural material for a good few hours after the sun's actually set.
Yeah.
Maybe they could be getting it indirect UV.
Exactly, yeah, potentially. And so
it's definitely an idea to play with and look into. But I don't know. Is there a possibility where it could potentially harm the eyes of a tarantula? Could UV harm the eyes of a tarantula?
I think if it was too strong, as with any animal, then most probably. You know,
well, that's when you need to look down the line of a Ferguson's own scale for tarantulas.
I would be like, yeah, you know, if you put a 14% T5 over an LP, like 5 centimeters away, that's going to do some damage, sort of thing, or even 30 centimeters away from it, that could do some damage. But the new shade dwellers, I would think most probably wouldn't do damage.
Well, I don't know, because you've got to look at as well the unit that you're going to use for your UV. Some of them are like the T5 eco units and stuff like that. Arcadia produce them, Reptile Systems produce them. You've got your reflector inside. Well, that intensifies everything. Granted, there is graphs on all the boxes that tell you what the UVI actually is at 30 centimeters away from the animal's head. But you can also turn that reflector over and it'd be even more high output. So you've got to look at that as well.
And
then you look at the risk of, like, if it's going through mesh, if it's going through plastic, it's got to get through that, which reduces it normally by around about 35%.
Yeah. But the only real way to tell is with a Sonometer 6.5 to know exactly what you're getting. There we go. Yeah, that's the one. Because it might say it on the box, but every single bulb is different and it might not give you the readings that it says on the box.
Oh no, I can guarantee 100%. If you use one of the coil bulbs, I mean, this right here, this is an Exoterra one that I'm showing. It's a 10%. That's been advertised at Bearded Dragon. That doesn't give you a UVI more than 2, brand spanking new. After it's burnt in for 100 hours, which is the industry standard, that gives you virtually nothing. I use that over white tree frogs.
Exactly. But also, it can go completely the opposite way. Game conference, we're doing mapping, enclosure mapping, and it was at college actually. Right, and we going around playing with sonometers and stuff, and it was in a radiated tortoise enclosure.
Yeah,
and we got and they had 3 mercury vapors on. and one of those bulbs, we got a UVI of the reading read 300.
Yeah, no, to be fair, UVIs, especially back in the day with mercury vapor bulbs,
insanely
you
high.
used to turn them on and they'd spike massively. I've got a
was
few of them, and I had to
insanely
burn them
high.
in 100 hours before they went into my Savannah Monitors enclosure.
Yeah, and it was like, and that wasn't a new bulb either. They were like, "That's not a new bulb. That's been running quite a while." And was like, everyone was all like, "This is the reading we're getting. There's something wrong with this bulb." That's and like Frances Baines was there, and she was like, "That's going to damage your animal." Sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Just a bit. But that's the thing, though. Will it damage the animal, or will the animal know that it's too much and he will
Well,
escape that rays? Granted, if he escapes those rays, then he's not going to get the right UVI that he requires to thrive in captivity.
Yeah, it needs to be able to escape. If it can't escape it, that's wrong. But it needs to be able to escape it and have areas that perhaps there's no, so it's that gradient of no UV at all, to an area that has a bit of UV, and the animal has the choice.
Yeah. Given enough space to have that choice as well.
I suppose you need to see if a tarantula has the capabilities of sensing UV like we have. We've got a nervous system which is generally associated with spined animals. I wonder what sensory organs are on a tarantula's skin or exoskeleton that can monitor UV.
Maybe that's partly to do with their eyes as well. I know they have a great sensory system because they can detect food or slight vibrations. But
So that's all
can
to
they
do with
detect
vibrations, that
UV?
is. Yeah, that's all to do with their webs going out and then sensing the vibrations on those webs. They map the surrounding area with web. Majority do.
Yeah. Let's
so
take, for instance,
with
my
that area,
LP.
they know automatically. It's like a little sat nav going off in their head, so they know where that movement is on their web.
So tarantulas are a lot smarter than what most people would think. So surely they can be smart enough to know UVI and what they need, what they require, and feel the benefits, and then feel when it's too much. Every single animal that has access to the sun has a need, a want, and a defense against it.
Yeah.
Provided it's natural. That I'm talking natural wild. You can't stick something too much inside an enclosure where it can't escape, because that's too much.
Yeah.
But if we could provide a natural Ferguson zone scale for a specific species and then go from there and see, that's the thing though. We've got to figure out like what Ferguson zone that specific species is in, providing the correct UVI to that specific species and see how he reacts.
See,
You can't really go off the first month, because the first month they're just going to hide away because it's something new. But when they start coming out and exploring it, you never know then, but webs might be thicker, their egg sacs might be more secure. There could be so many benefits. But on the flip side, what downsides could we see? What downsides could we possibly prevent before actually adding in a UV lamp?
I think the problem with it, I can see, is the lighting companies just going, well, it's only spiders, so here's a desert bulb, here's a rainforest bulb.
Yeah.
Job done.
I think, I mean, you personally, you've spoke to Peter at Reptile Systems, and you've seen how he reacts to the question of, do tarantulas need UV?
Yeah, we had a long conversation about it actually at the last show, and no doubt we'll have another one at Bedford.
I'm looking forward to seeing him at Bedford. To be fair, I've not spoke to him for quite a while. That's the
You
Invert
coming?
Show UK, isn't it? I'm hoping to.
Oh,
hoping
please
to.
try.
Everybody wants you to. Rich.
For the
Yeah.
past,
We could all literally just go and have a conversation with him to start this off, and then you.
It's good that Peter's there and he's got the knowledge there behind the fact of UV. I mean, you won't see Francis Baines or John Courtney Smith down there to ask them, but to ask Peter and him to be there.
You could twist his arm about 5 UV bulbs for the test.
Oh, I've been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Believe me, for the test that we're planning, I've got Cheshire Reptile Rescue on site. They're going to provide us with some bits and bobs, enclosures, lamps, that sort of stuff. We've got contact details for Dr. Francis Baines, John Courtney Smith, Peter Blake, a few of them. We've got you that's going to do it, me that's going to do it. I mean, granted, I've only got the LP, which I'm going to have a go at doing it with. But I've just got to modify his enclosure. I've got to figure out what UVI to give him. I've got to modify his enclosure to give him a few more different options of hides. Because the thing with my LP hasn't got substrate.
What?
Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
What?
Yep. You heard that right now. My LP hasn't got substrate.
Well, it better do, but at 10 minutes after coming off this stream, it better have at least 6 inches.
No, let me explain. So,
all the comments needs more substrate, needs more substrate.
no. Let me explain. So I did a lot of research to do with their natural habitat because I was building a completely natural habitat for him. And the substrate where they're based is solid. It's been compact over years and years and years. The top 2 inches is soft substrate. Now that's fallen leaves, decomposed leaves, that sort of stuff. It's not what we'd class as dirt. It's just fully compact. So when we get in there, the majority of it, 3/4 of the actual enclosure itself, is basically expanding foam covered in silicone with about 1 inch of substrate pressed into it. So it's nice and spongy, but it's not actually, he can't physically burrow into it. And then on top of that, we've just added leaf litter, which is decomposed perfectly fine. And it's amazing how much natural attitude is coming out of him for it.
But they've been seen in burrows in the wild.
He's got 2 burrows, man-made burrows, but he's got 2 burrows. One's pitch black, totally away from everything, dug right the way down, and the other one's got a little bit of UV that can actually penetrate into it.
Okay, can I ask you then, why didn't you use excavator plate? Because that would have given you a solid base, but it could have still digged into it.
That's an idea we could follow up on. That is an idea we can follow up on. I'm not against trying that.
Robbie, have you got the links to that, or is it just hearsay? Because Robbie says, while a 90s study showed teas with UV light burrowed deeper and stayed in the burrows longer. If you've got,
they would only come out and physically explore when the UV was at the correct UVI for that specific species.
Leslie says needs more sub. Laughing faces.
I've got 1/4 of that enclosure with a deep substrate, and he's not once burrowed it, not once played with it, not once even stood on it, I don't think.
Ooh. Robbie says that test also showed that UVB produced this behaviour more than UVA.
I suppose we can look into that. That's what
Yeah.
I'll look into. The problem is,
You have to see that study itself.
UVB, UVA is just totally irrelevant now. That's old information, old technology. We look at everything as UVI. UVI is ultraviolet index, so it's every wavelength of light that we would naturally get from the sun, all in one number, so that we can replicate it easier. So it covers everything from infrared, ultraviolet, gamma rays, X-rays, you name it. Everything that the sun produces comes under UVI.
It doesn't do the middle bit between UV and infrared.
That's visible light, isn't it?
Because that's now been looked at in reptiles a lot more as well. As like
that's visible light. There's
with all the LEDs and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lad, JTV Reptile. He's got a European lizard enclosure, and one thing he's found out is if he stuck a daylight LED light, so just a basically 6,000 Kelvin weight light on the basking spot, they would bask there a lot more. But when that light accidentally dropped a little bit, and that light from the LED dropped a little bit, they would still bask on the LED light instead of the actual heat.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
was it Roman Murren? He'd done a bit of a test with he rehomed a bearded dragon, and he never kept a bearded dragon for. But he's basically he is the equivalent of France and Spain, but for heating as well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're good friends. They're very good friends with each other and they work a lot together. And he ended up putting like a whole host of different bulbs in, and to see if he could replicate essentially circadian rhythm and like sunrise and sunset and going over the viv with lights and stuff. and where like the dragon would then bask, and like different LEDs as well to fill in the gaps. And
It would
stuff.
be interesting if you got a big enclosure. I'm talking an 8-foot enclosure, and you were working on mercury vapor bulbs, but that mercury vapor bulb.
Oh,
And he's gone.
Did you get rid of him then, Scott?
No, this is
No, his phone when it's on charge heats up and then
And
cuts him off. So you have to wait 5 minutes. But
Oh, that's annoying.
see, mine used to do that, so I'll just fucking use the laptop now, and that's it. And then I used to use a standalone camera, and the batteries kept going all the time. And then I found out that StreamYard don't even stream in HD unless you pay for it anyway,
No.
which is about 50 quid a month. So I was like, fuck that, it can go like this, and that's it. Already spend out enough on YouTube, do you know what I mean?
Can you not just go live on YouTube now?
Yeah.
So why don't you just do that?
StreamYard gives you a lot more options. I couldn't have you on it for a start. Couldn't have Ellie. Couldn't have Phil. Can't I guess? Can you?
Yeah, we make your videos.
Yeah,
So you wish.
that's why they come here. So
90.
no that I didn't.
Oh, that'd be wicked, Robbie. By the way.
What was that, Ellie?
So I don't worry.
What was that, Ellie?
I'm reading what Robbie's saying.
Oh, I just read that. I know. Get the papers from work, photograph them over. I did say it was a study in the 90s before modern technology.
I wouldn't put filming with my LP though, ever since my LP decided to eat his phone background.
Yeah, I think me and Richard are going to have a conversation about that enclosure.
There's lots of ways you can make the bottom solid without actually doing that.
It could be compressed. I did see it, Thomas. It's just I ain't looked at the Instagram message yet. That ground is solid, but I'm going to question the fact: is it solid when it rains, or is it baked solid? And then when it rains, it softens up. So when it rains and the ground's soft, the tarantula then makes its burrow. Then.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could say that with Grammostola species as well, because if you see where they come from dry, arid areas where they make holes in like this solid clayish mud. You know what I mean? I'm keeping all mine on cocoa fiber. Well, a mix of different things, including sand.
Well, I think you could burrow through almost anything given enough time.
Yeah, but they're used to that in a natural. They would have solid and they would have soft. They would have a mixture of both. If you're only using cocoa fiber, that does stay quite soft even when it dries.
Don't know.
I think the only way you're going to know fully is if you actually go to where they are, find some in the wild, see them exactly. You know, it's all well and good listening to somebody else tell you.
You don't need to see them in the wild because there's enough stuff on YouTube to kind of get the feel. And then there's also sort of tourist videos in the same areas that you could watch and see the flora. There's entomological studies done on every inch of the planet now. So the information's already there. It should be.
The guy on YouTube.
Sometimes the
But
information
it goes
might be there, but a lot of time it might be behind like paywalls and stuff. It depends on what journals it goes into.
But it's like Ellie's point of there could be an area of it could be a massive area of complete solid ground, and then there could be a soft area.
Yeah.
In the same vicinity, and that's where you're going to find the spiders because it's going to be easier to burrow. Because if you think yourself, you know, if you're going to live in a burrow yourself, and you find a rocky ground, you're going to think, yeah, fuck that. You're going to look for somewhere where it's soft, all the soil's soft, and you can burrow down into it a lot easier than what you could if it was absolutely solid. So tarantulas are going to do the same thing. I would have thought they would have just carried on walking until they found somewhere. And when they are out and about walking, which they've been seen out and about walking at night, maybe that's what they're doing. It is not just looking for food and mates, because they're not always mature when they're doing it. Maybe they're looking for a burrowing spot.
Yeah. Good
Oh,
knowledge.
Russell. Night,
I'll see you
Russell.
around.
Take care.
Yeah, good. And even like looking at how big their their natural territories or average territory size is as well. That can even have an impact.
I'm gonna have to go in a bit. It's past
I think
11.
I think it's the Montserrat Tarantula. I think they found like outside of the burrow that their territory is about 5 centimeters away from the burrow. They'll only go about 5 centimeters away, that kind of thing. Then back down the burrow.
There is a trapdoor spider that
Sort of thing.
lives in solid, literally solid compacted soil, and they make a trapdoor, obviously, in it, and they live down there. I can't remember what it is. It was about 2 years ago. I was chatting to Tim about it. It might be. Bailey will know because I sent him one. Is it the Mashador? Something like that. Trapdoor spider. It could be that one. I can't remember. But that will look for that. But does burrow in solid ground, and then it makes its trap out of the solid soil again at the top.
Right.
Because we were looking at trying to recreate. Yeah, Lephistus. Was it the Lephistus Mashlador or something, Bailey? Because we were trying to recreate it in the home, and it'd be really, really difficult because the soil you would literally have to bake and bake and bake. Because what they do is when it's soft and when it's rainy, that's when they make their burrows. And then the top 2 inches gets baked by the sun, completely solid, for long periods of the year. I was chatting to Tim about that, and he was saying you'd have to try and recreate the same conditions at home, which would be almost impossible.
Let me look. I think Venom Tech. I think they've done a study on scorpions and UV. Or they were going to have someone do a study on that. Let me have a look.
Robbie's just sent me over some of the paperwork on it. He said some of it's come from the internet. He's got more of the paperwork at work. He's going to photograph it and send it over. Appreciate that, Robbie.
Let me just get this up. Does this say? No, it doesn't work.
I've just sent it. Let me just. Well, I'll mute myself. I'll mute myself when I need a fart.
Oh God. We all need to know that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sit there and go.
No, but you also didn't have to admit
it.
Loving the mohawk, by the way, Scott. It's not quite central.
It is. It's the light that I've got coming down from over there. Trust me. Because it's longer, it just gets knocked off to the side.
Give you a complex now.
No, I couldn't get a shit. Although I was winding Tara up, telling her I was going to get some tattoos on the side of the head.
Are you?
No. There's nothing that would go on the side of the head that look good for me.
Of course it would. Spider. Pokey in a pose.
Nah.
you drinking appetizer?
I'd have a knuckle duster behind the back of this ear or something.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
That'd be cool.
I've got more in the fridge. It's from what I brought from the weekend.
I got one left, I think.
I said you could have helped yourself. You've been here more than twice now, so like, yeah, you helped yourself. Visiting has gone out the window. You packed the furniture.
Okay, I'll be there tomorrow.
Right, well.
No, what am I joking? I gotta take her to the hospital.
You can attack my dishes, so you can attack the fridge.
Oh yeah, sorry I didn't finish them.
It's alright. I finished them anyway. I said I
I
would.
realised on the way home, I was like, shit, I didn't finish the dishes.
Alright, you didn't have to wash them anyway.
I felt really bad though. I was like, oh,
You know, they were all washed done. I chilled for half an hour. No, I didn't chill for half an hour.
They tested the king baboon and Heterometrus Swama Dharmi scorpion.
I ended up having my computer reboot itself and wouldn't let me log in, so I was stressing because I couldn't run the stream and I was almost late. Well, technically, we went live a little bit late, but I was here.
And this study says both organisms spent all their time hidden when exposed to full spectrum light compared to low level ambient light, except for one instance of no significant difference in burrowing and webbing in the P. muticus. When exposed to full spectrum light, there was a decrease in the number of behaviors or postures expressed in full spectrum lighting compared to ambient light for both species. Apart from the cortisol in both species was elevated. These levels changed in response to full spectrum illumination and were linked to behavioral changes. This suggests that a common husbandry practice may be detrimental to arachnids. But that was a study in the 90s, so obviously we've got a lot of knowledge in
I'm
that.
currently reading a report. It's about jumping spider, but a jumping spider that needs UV light to actually be able to mate.
That's interesting.
Or to instigate normal mating behaviour. Yeah,
I heard normal mating behaviour and it piqued me interest. What's happening?
yeah, it might come from a jumping spider.
Scott
Described
doesn't have any.
January 26th paper.
Well, we can tell that by the homosexual unicorn horn on his head.
Researchers have shown that the Cosmophasis umbricatica spider not only needs UV light to instigate normal mating behavior, but the males and females of species respond to it physiologically in physiologically distinct ways. The male features scales on their face and body that reflect UV light, whereas the females do not. The
What was that you
jumping
just sent me, Scott?
spiders possess UV receptors in their retinas, so they can detect its emission or reflectance. The females do, however, possess something the males lack: the ability to fluoresce bright green under UV illumination. Having recognized this distinction, researchers decided to examine what role this gender-specific physiology plays in mating. So they blocked the ultraviolet wavelengths and observed what might be the arachnid equivalent of a cold shower. It kind of ruined their sex life, really. There's quote says Michael Land, professor of neurobiology at the University of Sussex, and one of the authors in the paper that it was published in Science.
That must be why dogging's so popular.
That was some of the pictures Robin sent me about that 90s study. A study in the 90s saying how it increased cortisol in a king baboon and a scorpion, which proves detrimental to both species, and how they spent a lot more time in the burrow.
Did they compare the levels to the cortisol levels of wild ones?
It don't say yet. Robbie says he's got more paperwork at work, so he's going to photograph it and then blitz it over.
Because rays might not. It could be detrimental, but it might not. Depends on what wild cortisol levels are like in
It
wild
depends whether the rays were natural or man-made, because you think the man-made UV and infrared back in the 90s was massively detrimental to every single animal, not just inverts.
Well, that's it.
But I mean, it killed off a lot of reptiles as well.
That's it. Well,
Interacting the iguana eyes and
wrong wavelength of infrared, weren't we, for years?
for years. It's only just starting to come out now that like heat mats give off not the best and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it. And ceramic heaters, they give off the wrong wavelengths.
Exactly. I think there's only two products that give off a decent a more natural wavelength of infrared, and that's what the deep heat projector and the infrared heat projector. Is that right?
From what Roman says and what Francis has said, it halogen bulbs. Halogen
Well, yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
Halogen bulb all the way.
But that's for that's producing daylight visible light as well. So if you've got more of a nocturnal species,
what Francis now recommends for reptiles, she's looking into inverts as well, because we got looking into inverts. She said halogen, and Roman kind of agrees as well. Halogen for day, deep heat projector for night if you need nighttime heat.
Yeah.
Because they found it.
Here we go.
Sort of thing. Because and the way Roman describes it as well is fantastic. Like if you get a chance to go to the Advancing Herbological Husbandry conference at Drayton Manor.
Yeah, I went there last year.
Oh, I was there as well.
The year before.
Yeah, it's not too far from where I live.
I was there as well.
It's quite cool, actually. It blown my mind with all the knowledge, but then I was only just getting into the lighting knowledge then.
And
Phil, you know the lady that you're talking about, Francis?
Yeah.
Does she do what was it, Terry?
Does she do a college lecturing on UV lighting?
She does everything on UV lighting. There's a reptile Facebook page.
She lives up the road from me.
There is, because I've met her.
She possibly. I think she's moving. I don't know where she's moving to. Whether she's staying in Wales, but she's.
There's a lady who lives up the road, and she literally has an entire ton of iguanas and everything, and that's all she talks about.
That sounds like long grey hair.
Oh my god, I know her.
I met her on one of my snake walks.
I didn't even know that was who you were talking about.
She's lovely. The queen of all things UV.
She is the queen. Put it this way. 2019.
Nobody will ever overtake her.
2019, RORG officially gave her individual lifetime Bayaza membership for all the help she's given zoos.
Yeah.
And you're on our steering committees. You're completely independent, but you're so passionate about. She's so passionate about what she does.
You can ask a question on her Facebook page, and she will give you a massive reply. She will sit there and spend half an hour constructing a reply.
I spent three.
All you need to do is read anything that Francis writes down, anything from Fran Baines, and you'll be just like, oh yeah.
I literally spoke to her for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was out on one of my walks, and one of her friends stopped me. She was like, "Oh, my friend loves reptiles. She's really into it." And then I got talking to her, and she was like, "So how do you keep yours?" So I was explaining that my ball pythons are in racks. She was like, "Do you use UV on them?" I was like, "Well, it's pretty difficult on a racking system." And then she gave me about an hour and a half lecture. I was like, "Okay, I like you. You know what you're talking about." You're an awesome lady. That's the lady. That's the right one.
Yep, that's her.
She's about 50.
Yeah, she lives up the road from us.
She's about 150 yards to my right.
Actually, just moved because I knew she was selling her cottage.
I love the fact that she didn't turn around and go, "I'm famous." I love that.
No,
I mean, if I had her knowledge and her reputation, I'd be going around with balls hanging out, going, "Yeah,
obviously
look at me."
very
I was literally
humble.
I was going around going, "Is that the same lady? Am I going to go upstairs and look a complete dick?" I normally look a complete dick, so fuck it, I'll go for it anyway.
You sat downstairs watching us.
That is a very true statement, Terry.
Pervert.
Well, someone's
Well,
got to tell the truth.
yeah.
It's not going to be you, is it, with the unicorn head?
I think he was just perving on Scott's homosexual unicorn horn.
No, I was just
Probably.
checking. I was just checking you weren't looking at my wife's boobies.
But
Oi.
yeah, no, yeah. Well, Rome said when it comes to like the heat, so yeah.
Hi.
He's gone. No, he hasn't. He's
Oh,
stood there, but he's
Like,
by
right.
there.
She was the nicest lady I've met.
Oh, bye, Ellie.
Oh, was Ellie saying,
Ellie,
"Bye,
oh, no,
bye,
Ellie's
Ellie,
gone.
bye,
I thought
Terry."
she was saying goodbye to Terry.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sad
bye.
now, Ellie's gone.
Bye. So she was gone.
Sorry, Ellie.
Sorry, Ellie. But yeah, the way Roman describes like heating for reptiles is I think fantastic. He's like, stick your arm out in a sunny day, it soon starts to tingle, and that's the infrared rays going into the muscles and heating the muscles up.
Yeah.
Stick that under your bulbs and see if it starts to tingle. If it's not tingling, it's the wrong wavelengths.
That's literally it. Same as the likes of
You're not
the
heating the
ceramic
animal,
heat
you're heating
emitters
the
are just like electric fan blowing in your face. They don't do anything inside
Yeah.
you, just on the surface.
No, Bailey. Bailey,
Right,
I
Bailey.
think that test comes back negative, mate.
Night, Billy.
On that note, I'm going to shoot off as well because I've got an early start with this interview tomorrow.
Good luck with the interview.
I shall see you all later. Thanks for having me.
No
Bye,
worries.
Richard.
Bedford,
You better be.
if you've got Richard on your Facebook or his YouTube channel or the Facebook page for him or his Instagram, just message him shitloads and say, see you at Bedford.
Yes, he needs to come join the family. Phil,
Hello.
does your beard still smell nice?
It does.
Monica.
And it feels like so much better than like what I've been using as well. So good stuff.
I use
I'm gonna-
L'Oreal.
Send you a book. I want you to read it on like voice message so I can go sleep to your voice. You were reading all that and I was just like,
I use the L'Oreal Cedar on mine.
I've used that.
You
And I
have,
just,
you have to whack a lot on for the,
that's the thing. And I just find I was for ages. I mean, I want to try a smaller, a smaller company that you don't get in a supermarket, and that's probably not going to have as many ingredients in it all.
you sure it's
And
definitely.
see what it's like. And this stuff just sounded like, I'll
Okay.
give that a go. It's more expensive, but potentially in the long run, it's not going to be because actually I use a tiny amount of shampoo, tiny amount, far less than what I've used with like the L'Oreal one, and it completely lathered up my beard.
I use to wash it, even when it's long, whatever shampoo and conditioners Tara's got, which is normally Tresemme, and then I use the beard oil and the beard comb brush.
Yeah.
We have a female making banana ball python.
What?
But
We have a female maker banana ball python.
A female
A female
banana wallpaper.
Girl.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah,
Why?
they're really rare.
Oh, is it
They're
more?
mostly banana balls are renowned for making male ball pythons. Their babies are usually male. It's
Right.
very unusual for them to have be a female. And if they are a female maker, they're worth a lot more money. And because he's a female maker, his babies are female makers.
I don't know, because that one's female and that one's male.
The other one's a male. This
Oh.
one's female.
Is the female more likely to pass all the genes on to the offspring, or is it the male's genes that are stronger?
I don't know that.
That's got all the genes of the male.
That's yeah, it's got all of the dad's genes, this one.
4 genes.
So this is literally a female replica of the male.
So if you bred it with another male that wasn't identical to that, then you'd get the male traits, wouldn't you?
The males, yeah, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. If you bred this with a male, so say you put this with a normal male,
A normal male, it'd still be 50. You'd get female bananas.
yeah, about
but you'd
50-50.
get 50% banana, depending. Yeah, and you look at normal.
On the note of late night and bananas, I'm going to close the stream down, go see Tara, make sure she's all right, and have a cup of tea,
Okay.
and then climb in bed.
He's
Then-
blapping. It's so cute.
It's like having power again. Oh, it's so nice. To have
Yeah, I bet you're delighted.
Oh, it was so stressful last night and then this morning.
I'll bet.
I got to try and find that the sound of the maned wolves that you sent last night. I can't find it now because everyone was typing, and I want to show Terry. I could hear it. It's quite an eerie sound, isn't it? It's quite.
I was,
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, Phil, actually, if because you live there, can you wander around the zoo at night, or are you separated?
You know, they only if I absolutely have to, like if it's like going to check on a nil animal or whatever, or an animal that hasn't been to it or whatever, and someone goes,
Is that for your safety or?
It's for my safety. It's for obviously, they suddenly just see someone wandering around, they might think someone's broken in.
Right. Yeah.
Someone else,
But you could just phone security and say, "I'm going for a walk around the zoo."
I am security.
So you've got the perfect excuse to go for a wander around. I saw something on the camera.
Thing is, he sees it all day, so it's probably like.
We just get weird looks from the animals. You just get weird looks. Like if I
What
come
are
back,
you doing,
like,
Dad?
Like,
What
a
are
late
you
night
at,
out
Dad?
or whatever, a late night out, and I come through the gates, you just see like capybaras go, "What are you doing?" or whatever. All the
You
donkeys.
have
go,
no idea how envious I am of you with your job. Honest to God.
Do you have to work weekends as well? Do you work Monday through Sunday?
Take one of those baby capybaras out of the food bucket the other day because it wouldn't get out the food bucket. For me to move the bucket, they were just laying there, and I had to literally physically pick it up and move it. And it just
That's what I always wanted to be a zookeeper. That was what I wanted to do, or be an archaeologist. Both of those things were the only things I wanted to do growing up. I had my mind set on both of them, and everyone in my family was like, "What do you want to do that for? Get a proper job."
Phil,
Hello.
do you get it rent free?
No.
What? That's a piss take.
So,
I live in the zoo. I act as security, but I have to pay for the privilege of working and living in the zoo.
yeah, you get subsidised rent basically. So it's the cheapest rent in this area.
So you can still save up
Probably
money.
still quite expensive though.
It's an expensive area. But
I thought it
my
might be.
yeah, my council tax for a 1-bed flat that's in the lowest band it can be is far more expensive than my parents' 3-bedroom semi-detached house.
That makes no sense because surely you don't just use the same bins as zoo does.
I have my own bins for the council bins.
Wow.
So because I've got living there, I've got to pay council tax. But yeah, it's a lot more than what my parents pay for their 3-bedroom semi-detached house. That's
Wow.
an hour away from here.
How many flats is there?
Two flat. Well, on one, then there's another star flat, and then the owner has the house, and then there's an annex on the house that someone else lives in. So there's currently like 4 properties on site.
Is Victoria at the same zoo?
No, she volunteered here a few years ago. She's like 20 minutes down, like 15, 20 minutes down the road. And then LJ's like 40 minutes away.
Bloody hell. Right.
But yeah, I think Bedford's going to find Leah chasing me chasing whilst I'm chasing LJ, and LJ's chasing Victoria.
Why is LJ chasing Victoria? Just because she's at the end of the line.
LJ, she messaged me the other day like, Phil, sorry, I'm leaving you for Victoria. Obviously as a sort of like tongue-in-cheek type thing.
Yeah.
Did you not message back and say, no, I'm good with that fact?
Oh God.
I did say like, was it going to be like the cog at the end or whatever? Thing.
Do you know how they're supposed to heat treat the cork bark so it kills everything?
I've no idea what you just said. I say cork bark and then kills it.
Treat cork bark.
They heat treat cork bark, don't they? So it kills everything.
Yes.
Moss.
Alive.
I wonder if they do it the same way they do industrial.
Maybe the way
timber.
it's been stored.
Yeah, because a lot of companies just store it outside.
Yeah.
in the rain.
Stored outside long enough to grow moss and then be sold.
Potentially from some companies, yeah.
Not from the supplier of cork bark, surely. That was Live Foods.
I don't know how they store
I
theirs.
don't know.
It could be It could be where did they get theirs from? And it could be their supplier.
You are going.
I think he gets it in containers. Well, I want to know the environmental impact of cork bark, where it comes from. Are we making the area for the privilege of having cork bark?
Potentially. Because a lot of it gets harvested.
And could we just change it for drain pipes that we cover in silicone glue and then put cocoa over it or soil? So you just have a brown tube, but obviously covered in soil. And would that help the environment instead of us going and getting this?
Anyway, it all comes from like Portugal and Spain, most of it. So even just transporting it all, there's a lot of carbon there.
Shipping transport is just ridiculous at the moment. I think there was a government paid incentive scheme where a lot of the larger houses had what did they call it? Environmentally, I can't remember the actual name. You might know, Phil. That environmentally sound wood that you burn and it produces nothing, basically. So they had these boilers installed by the government as wood burners.
Yeah.
But the wood that they needed was shipped over from Russia.
Oh, you're talking about what was it like biomass boilers and stuff? Biomass, yeah.
And then the wood, when it's in this country, gets super heat treated in big containers. So effectively, that's more energy to get it here and get it to the person's house in a burnable form than it is to actually save what's coming out. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Same as fish farming. Have you seen Conspiracy, I think it's called?
Yeah, Fish Conspiracy and the Cow Conspiracy. After watching that, I've literally very shy eating fish now.
Yeah.
Very shy. Just purely because it's the most polluted animals on the planet of fish.
If they want to eat less cows, they'll be doing me a favour because I'm fed up of cows.
Cows as a food substance is that they're pretty okay. They're not like polluted, but it's what comes out their backside and how much areas and how much acres of land each cow needs is the problem.
We eat too much of it, which I'm guilty of.
Well, to be fair, the problem's not even that. The problem is there's too many of us on the planet.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're still breeding like there's no tomorrow. It's like
I can solve that. Give me a bell tower. I can do that.
I don't mean to offend anybody, and it's not meant to offend anybody, because we've got more than one child ourselves. How many families do you know with like 2-3 kids? I know flipping loads, and that's not helping. But I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, China, I know they've gone down to you can only have one child per family, but then if you've got the money, you can have 2 or 3, 4 anyway.
Yeah.
Which then plays into the
very controversial sort of rule that's set in place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sort of like it's
a human instinct, really. If you thing is that though, I guess individual.
There's more females in China than there is males. That's because all the families are still set in a very old school way of they want a boy to be able to pass everything to. So if they have a girl and they've got the money, they will then try again to see if they can get a boy.
Yeah.
Probably not. That's probably a very general way to sum up every single family in China, because not every single family in China is going to look at it that way, obviously. But that's been going on for a long, long time.
That's true.
Documentary on that. I'm trying to wrap my brains trying to think of the name of it, but it might have been a Louis Theroux one.
I could do the downside of cows in one documentary, just me jet washing covered in cow poo, crying, going, I just don't want to do it anymore. Just stop eating them, for God, of God. Just let them live.
I mean, it was Dr. Sarah Bainey. She and her partner done a study comparing like the use of beef for burgers and making burgers out of bugs.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because they're in Pembrokeshire. They run the bug farm. There's like a little bug zoo down there, and then like their restaurant pretty much serves up bugs.
I reckon that's quite good.
Potentially, it's a cultural thing that we don't knowingly eat land-dwelling invertebrates. Yet, so many people are happy to eat prawns and crabs and lobster.
But again, then the Chinese do, and with the Chinese, they can populate a huge area and overpopulate that area. And I'm wondering if they can do that because they eat other things than cows and things like that. They eat insects because the insects obviously don't take up as much room as what a cow would. But then I would still argue the fact that, well, the amount of insects you'd need to consume, which would be the same size as a steak. So if it took 30 people to eat a cow, you'd need the same amount in volume of insects to sort of sustain 30 people. Yep. Therefore, the waste from those insects is surely going to be the same as the cow.
It depends if you do it on a protein-based system.
Yeah.
Because they're a lot higher in protein than steak.
On average, it's like weight for weight, like cockroaches, I think on average, like 4 times the amount of protein than beef.
Why aren't they in the food chain more?
Cultural.
Surely bodybuilders must be listening to that and going,
it creeps people out, doesn't it? Like most people can't even stand a bug in their front room and on their window, like looking at them. You know, it's very unusual for people to actually like. We're unusual. We like bugs. We're unusual. Like people actually think we're weird.
Yeah, and it's that thing of how you're raised. You know, how often you go, oh, the French are weird. They eat snails.
Or frog legs.
You know, and stuff. And I think
I always think, well, what's wrong with the rest of them?
Blumenthal, he done like a thing with I think it was with a Japanese chef, and this chef, I think it's a Japanese chef, gave him, you know, land-dwelling invertebrates. Estimation. His retaliation to the Japanese chef was, here's a bowl of rice pudding. And the chef went, what the hell's that? I can't eat that. What are you doing? That's wrong. That's just so, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, but just we've been raised differently to each other.
Yeah.
Like I think I could probably eat like maybe mealworms, maybe crickets, things like that. I don't think I could eat a tarantula.
Apparently, deep fried crickets are really nice. A bit like pork scratchings. Really
I think I would struggle to eat a tarantula.
If I was in China,
crickets are tasty.
It was all prepared, I'd eat it.
I don't know if I could eat a tarantula. Not because it's a tarantula, but because I just
more the bugs. Do you know what I mean?
Hairy.
Let's not, we keep tarantulas, so let's keep them off the menu. But all the other stuff, I don't think I'd have an issue with. Like,
I wouldn't have an issue. I don't think with any of them.
Trying it wouldn't.
But yeah, they compared quarter pound of beef burger to a quarter pound of bug burger, and they found a quarter pound of beef burger on average takes around 10,000 litres of water to make, because by the time you give water to the cattle to drink, add water to the beef.
But then the cows drank that much water, but there's a lot more burgers you get out of that cow than what.
No, that, but yeah, they're like
one bug.
On average per quarter pound of burger, it's on average 10,000 litres of water.
Wow.
But per quarter pound of bug burger, half a cup.
Wow, that's a big difference.
And they're like, well, this is huge. And they're like, if you farm cockroaches for food, feed them all the fruit and veg that doesn't even enter our supermarkets, that just sits on the side rotting away.
You can buy it all on eBay. You can buy Edible insects, crickets, locusts, mix and match grubs. Mixed bugs are good to eat. £3.60 to £5.20 free postage.
There's all sorts. The problem is, at the moment in the UK, it's expensive and it shouldn't be. It should
Wow.
be cheap.
Edible crickets, 500 grams, £22.
Yeah, it's
It's a niche
expensive
market.
at the
That's
moment,
crazy.
and it should be cheaper. But the problem is there's not the demand to scale up everything to bring it down in price. So,
Did anybody see the documentary of the guy who
Farming.
breeds snails? in the
farming
UK?
cockroaches, I say you can give them all the waste fruit and veg that doesn't even enter the shops. They'll eat that, and then what they produce is the compost that go onto the fields and stuff.
Yeah.
To then
Well-
grow the crops.
Mavis is fighting with
Do you,
Albus.
do you remember that documentary we watched about that guy in the UK who was one of the only breeders of escargot snails? There's a swimming pool and he covered it over and he was breeding snails and he made an absolute fortune. Snail caviar as well. He made a
Yeah,
fortune.
snail caviar. Yeah,
Yep.
Super
Well,
money.
What I was going to say then. Oh, LJ just messaged me. She said she ate tarantula and she's eaten scorpion, I think she said. Hang on.
yeah, I've been scorpions.
I had
Um,
scorpion in one of them lollies when I was a kid. Like,
oh, I've not
I've
had
had,
that.
I've had just roasted scorpion. I've made mealworm cookies.
Wow, okay. What were they like?
Really good. Mealworms taste of peanuts.
were they mealworms like
Well, that
straight
could be a
from,
problem. I don't like them.
I got
straight from the pet shop mealworms?
I got them
because-
straight. I got them straight from Monkfield myself
How about nematodes? Like,
and stuff, and then froze them,
does
Get her in,
that
Harry.
kill the nematodes completely?
and then dry roasted them.
Oh, that would.
Hang on.
So literally froze them. So they were then dead, and then stuck them on some bacon parchment on a baking tray. Stuck them in the oven until they were cooked. And stuff, so they were crispy. So, but it's obviously to do it for human, you need in terms of selling it. But they are doing it in Germany now. They've actually got factories out in Germany that are producing mealworms, crickets, locusts stuff purely for human consumption.
Ooh. Are you going to bake some and bring it to the show?
I'd have to try and find the recipe again because it was in a
would be
BBC
awesome.
Wildlife magazine.
Really?
Yes, they had a little bit on
Oh.
Eating Plus, and I was like, well, I'll give this one a go. Sort of
I'm
thing.
going to have to have a look,
Didn't
see if
even
there's any
have-
recipes
didn't
I
even
can
have to
cook with
cook
my
the
brain.
cookies.
That'd be so cool if we could all do like a little like tasting YouTube video. That would be
Yeah.
quite cool.
And then I saw a video not that long ago, and there's a company. It's not available like to us to buy or anything. It's only like going to the trade, like to restaurants and stuff. A company that's making oil out of inverts and stuff.
Wow.
And their thing is like, could this replace palm oil?
Right, okay.
I've got about.
That would be amazing.
Sort of thing. The problem there is that if it did, that wouldn't necessarily solve the issue of palm oil.
Right, okay.
Because it would just go, okay, we won't do palm oil now. We'll just replace it with something else.
I think there's always going to be something that they're trying to do to ruin the environment. I don't understand why it's still happening with all the warnings that are being given.
I've got a nightmare of a job to do tomorrow.
Money. It's all money.
I've got.
Now, there won't be any money when there's no world. They keep on.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
What's the matter, Scott?
What are you seeing?
I've got about 9 fossorial spiders down here in tarantula room enclosures like that, and there's 6 subadult HMAX, and one of them's tapping. So one of those is obviously either a mature male
Or a
or
female.
mature female. So I've got to dig them all out, including the 6 HMAX, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Really calm HMAX like mine.
They are calm until you want to put them inside a catch cup, and then suddenly they get pissed off.
Tell me about it. I got my first one off
You've
Mark.
not seen watch my HMAC free housing video where it's the calmest HMAC going.
Wish mine was.
I've got an Iberian as well, which I know is a subadult male, so that might have popped out. But one of them's literally just gone really loud.
That's so cool that they do that, though. I love watching them.
It could
Oh, I've got my headlight roaches, right? And my headlight roaches at this time of night, they always fight because I've got a light on for my newts. I've got like a blue light, so you can just see them, and they'll like it's only so I can see them at nighttime, like, and then they like fight, and it's so funny to watch. They'll go up on the log, and then the other one will chase it, and you can watch them running around the log and then going back up on top of the log. It's so funny. I could watch it for hours. Bed.
Which species of headlight roach do you have?
Yeah, Terry, get to bed.
More than one.
Yeah, I have 2 species of headlight roach.
Wow. Okay. I have one with orange headlights.
Uh,
Have you
I'm
got
helping
have you got an excess of those?
What, me or Phil?
Both. If you're selling any, let me know.
I've got some. I find them really cute, cockroaches. They remind me of like the cockroach form of a bumblebee. They're kind of chubby.
so yeah, so orange might be. Is it subcincta? I think that's the orange one.
I know the dots are orange.
Yes,
That's all I
that's the
know.
ones I bought you.
Is it? Terry said yes.
Subcincta.
Think so.
Yep, I have that one, and I also have Vericosa as well. I think it's Vericosa. Yeah, Vericosa.
Right. Okay.
Which
I
are
have
they're
Chinese, I think, fire belly newts.
they're like slightly bigger, and then they've got yellow headlights.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. No, these are quite little.
I mean, Vericosa aren't that much bigger, but they seem
Right,
like they're like marginally.
Yeah. No,
large.
they have orange headlights. Very, very orange.
Or sort of yellow.
I was asleep now.
And then the vestigial wings aren't quite a solid colour. They're kind of two-tone colour on the Vericosa.
I'll take a photo and show you. Yeah, I mean, sorts of things. But to be fair, like my headlight roaches, they're kind of just left there to
We
breed.
can't get the fungus that they eat in the wild.
Oh, right, okay.
Is it the same fungus that you can buy from pet shops to put in with your isopods, your springtails?
You want about the shiitake that you
No.
can't?
I can't say. Shiitake.
Sorry?
Shiitake.
Shiitake.
Well, she just said shiitake.
Shiitake, yeah, because I'm not saying it with the posh accent.
I'm not posh.
I say how it's spelled. It says shiitake.
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 If it's
Literally sounds like you're saying shit take.
there'd be an I and then it'd be IE at the end, wouldn't it?
Shiitake.
But I must admit, I'm not the best person to sort of talk to about spelling and stuff, as you know from group conversations with predictive messages, predictive text on.
But yeah, no, you know, in the wild, they eat, headlight roaches eat. There's a fungus that they eat, and then the headlights underturn like glow.
The headlights, what?
I must be doing something right then, because mine glow.
Bioluminescence.
You got yours glowing?
Yeah.
I'll have to take a photo of it. I can see them. It literally looks like they're like lit up.
Yeah, just on the males, 2 little headlights. That's where they get the name from, headlight. They go.
Yeah.
Thomas has got a pair of Palmate Newts UK native trying to breed. I think you need a license for them, and they're endangered.
I don't know about the palmate ones. The smooth newts are.
Great crested are definitely, and they're staying protected, thankfully.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's staying protected in it.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
I think Leah's quail's
Unless they
protected.
find some on the HS2 route, and then they'll suddenly come off that protected list.
Yeah, it's such a stupid thing. They're like, oh, yeah, but there's plenty of them on mainland Europe. It's like, yeah, but we're an island, and we already found that our grass snake is a different species,
That
sort of thing.
you feel like going, hello.
You know, and so you get localities of the same species that can be very different to each other. Be technically the same species, but it's a different locale. Yep. What it's down to. All down to money.
Still on about grass snakes.
I meant to
Never
grass snakes.
I've never seen a grass snake in the wild.
Have you not?
Nope,
You never seen
I
grass
have.
never seen one.
Seen two.
I've seen one with a frog in its mouth.
One in Coventry and one in Wales.
Mine was in Wales. It was in an allotment.
That's it.
I had a grass snake bought here years ago that I got tangled up in netting, so I spent a good
Oh,
hour or so literally taking like strawberry netting off its teeth.
oh my goodness.
I've seen slow worms. Seen quite a few slow worms.
Yeah, we've been trying to remove some slow worms from a field they're about to whack down, so
How many times have you seen on Facebook? And I am talking to like Facebook group admins here. You get the picture of I've seen it recently of it was a rare lizard, and then I'm just going to use somewhere local that I know they don't exist, but then it would say seen in Coventry, Coombe Abbey Park. You think,
Don't tell you where it was.
why you've
Not
just told thousands of people where this rare animal is?
Yeah.
You fucking
The-
dickhead.
The only places you should say where they are is on things like iRecord and stuff where it actually goes to official data
Yeah.
and stuff.
that when they see those big white stags, and then the next thing somebody's got it mounted.
Oh, like the one we used to have at work, and I used to talk to him. Yeah, he got shot.
Toby has a 6-ish. I can't even see.
I can.
Viviparous common lizard UK native. No, I've got my glasses on, so I'm struggling to read.
Viviparous.
Native and 6-ish slow worms that have had kids. Oh, hello, Mavis. Sorry. Sorry, my cat's just jumped in through the window. And yes, we are upstairs.
What were you doing outside, Mavis? Whose head were you kicking in tonight? There was three.
Hello, Mavis.
It is
three cats.
pretty much midnight.
She has no collar again.
Right,
I'm surprised you kicking in. There are 3 cats.
Come here, baby. We're not going back
Right.
again.
Boys and girls, I'm going to end the stream.
yeah, I think it's
Right. I've been closing the stream down at 10 o'clock recently because, you know, I know it's not that I'm
We've been
complaining,
having a good chat.
but we've had a chit chat.
yeah.
We shall have another chit chat next week about something different, but still the same, maybe. We shall see.
I
Anyway,
think the cat's annoyed with me.
Look at that face.
Definitely.
Oh my God, what are you doing to me?
I'm going to say good night to everybody.
Mavis.
Bye.
Lizzie's off,
Bye,
so
everyone.
Lizzie. We seen Lizzie yesterday. Night, Thomas, and Moon over Miami, and everybody else.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
What are you doing?